and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Rico Report, brought to you by you-know-who, the Buffalo Fanatics. Y'all see it above my shoulder right here. We're back after a fresh loss to a division enemy, a division foe, the New England freaking Patriots. And I never thought I would say this by saying we lost to the Patriots for a long time. I thought we'd dominate this division for a minute, but looks like we got some competition in the East. And you know what? I'm okay with it. You can't just run away with it. You can't be the old Patriots of the last decade and a little bit. That 17-year drought was a lot, folks. That was a lot. And we took it on the chin. They killed that division. So, and we never built the team well enough and good enough to compete. Well, it seems as though the Patriots have built their team good enough to come into our house, to come into our trap, and pretty much mimic the type of quarterback that we have. And they put the same frustrations that Josh Allen puts on to every other defensive coordinator. Well, Vrabel got his Josh Allen out of Drake May, and Drake May, he did a number on us, folks. He did a number on us. That brother was nice. I can't even hate. I don't think Bills fans can sit here and hate and say, oh, that was a lucky game. Nah, he made some throws. He got out of the pocket when he needed to. He did what he needed to do for his team. And we failed to take full advantage of it. We did. And we shot ourselves in the foot by not doing what we needed to do, right? Let me flip my habit. Let me get to my Rico mode. Not doing what we needed to do. And that's take care of the football, get in the end zone, and wave bye-bye to our enemies. But you know what? You win some, you lose some. And that's exactly what took place with the Bills this past Sunday Night Football, where we didn't handle business. We did not do what we needed to do. We did not take care of our home, our dirt. And we paid the consequences. So the Bills have now fallen to 4-1. Whew. I'll tell you something. I love doing the post-game shows. Because you get my raw emotions. You get not just mine, you get everybody's raw and live emotions right then and there. Even when you don't get all the information you need, you're basing it off what you saw, your own emotions, and you just tee off. You just go off. And sometimes it makes for great TV. Sometimes you're like, man, you're way off base. And sometimes it's just a good place to vent and have therapy. Sometimes you don't have to say a word. Don't you just like watching a show where you're just sitting in your couch? Because I've done it. I know you've done it. I've listened to podcasts where I'm like, yo, everything that this person is saying, I totally agree. I'm not sitting here angry on my Twitter fingers and going at it. I'm like, yo, I'm agreeing with everything that's being said, or vice versa. Dude, I do not agree with that. I see where you're going with this, but no, I love that part. And that's why I love doing the post game. I've been doing the post game for now, what is it, 7, 8 years? Golly, it's been a while, right? We've been doing it for 8 years already. Golly. Anyway, we've been doing it for 8 years. So what I love about the post game is it allows me to vent and get off what I need to get off my chest. And then there's Monday, where you start to kind of, wake up, you have a good sleep, and you're like, ooh, maybe I overreacted on certain things. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I saw, or maybe I definitely saw what I saw, and it's proven facts. And then you have the following day where more information comes out and more analysis comes out, and the press conferences are out and people start speaking on things. And that's why I love Tuesday shows, because it allows you to humble yourself and really go through the motions and say, hey, I was totally overreacting on this, that, or on brand and on point. So that being said, welcome to another show, folks. All right, so let's get right into it. By the way, I'm going to be joined later tonight by my friend of the show, one of your favorites. I think your favorite, my man Carl Jones. Carl Jones will be joining us tonight in just a little bit. And I just wanted to jump on here real quick, just kind of, get the crowd warmed up for my guy Carl. So salute to everybody in the chat. By the way, I can't start by not saying what's up to y'all. If you guys are tuned in for the very first time, you're a Pats fan, you're an NFL fan, whatever the case is, go ahead and smash that like. Those likes help out tremendously. I don't need you to send me a whole bunch of dough. It's none of that. Just click that like. Click that notification bell. Allows you to know when we go live. And those likes, the more we get, the more this thing gets broadcasted out to everybody so they can catch this show. So do me a favor, smash that like while you guys are in here, and let's get right into it. So let's talk about things that are happening around the league. Before we get into Bills chatter, we will get into that in just a little bit. But the around the league, man, there's a lot of things happening. So first things first, the Cincinnati Bengals have been an absolute mess, and I think we all know that. They've been an absolute train wreck since Joe Burrow went down with that turf toe. And it must have been a nasty turf toe because that thing put him out for 3 months plus. And he's been injury prone. I don't know if we're ready to label him injury prone just yet. I don't know if he's there yet. I think he is. He's injury prone. He's prone to be injured. It's just that simple. And him being in the position that he's in right now has the Bengals just absolutely lost. Jake Browning has done his very best, but his best isn't good enough. You have two elite receivers. I don't want to call them elite, but you have a very good, one really elite receiver and one very damn good receiver. And you can't get them the ball. Jake Browning finally was able to kind of push the ball and get him the ball, and you saw good things happen, but just not good enough. So what do the Cincinnati Bengals do? They go and call the freaking Browns. They don't ask for Shedeur. I mean, we can't say they don't ask for Shedeur. Maybe they did ask for Shedeur, and the Browns said, no mas. You're not having him. Maybe they asked for Dylan Gabriel. They said, you're absolutely not getting our third-round pick. So they said, well, we'll settle for Joe Flacco. Is he available? They said, you can have him. So they made some swaps. One got a 5th round, one got a 6th round, and Joe Flacco is now headed to Cincinnati like he's about to save their season. Are you kidding me? Ladies and gentlemen, the NFL has been a bizarre place, to say the least. So Joe Flacco will take his talents to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals. They cut Ripien. Ripien's out. Browning will assume the role for another week or two until Joe Flacco is ready to take over, because clearly they gave him an opportunity. They gave him a month. Excuse me, they didn't even give him a month. They gave him 3 weeks. You got 3 weeks to kind of try to, get this thing afloat. Let's see what we got. And they've seen enough. They've seen enough. They said, we're done. We don't need to venture anymore. Our guys are getting frustrated. They need a guy that's going to get them the football. So why would you go and get Joe Flacco? Why Joe Flacco of all people? Right? Wouldn't you go and get a Russell Wilson? Maybe they're done with Russell. Maybe they say, Russell, it ain't gonna happen. Go get Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston is sitting there for the picking. They said, nah, we're not good enough. Or we don't need that. I think they even have Mike White as one of their quarterbacks on the team. And they still were like, nah, we ain't doing that either. We want Flacco. Well, Flacco is going to be at least under center for these guys, I say, within 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I mean, he ain't no Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield had to learn a freaking playbook in 3 nights and was on a field and doing what he needed to do. But Joe Flacco will be the quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals shortly. I think they're done with Browning, and they've experimented enough, and they said, nah, it's not happening. So kudos to the Browns for at least getting something for Flacco. They get some trade asset. I think they got a 5th round, and they gave up a 6th. So they moved up around. So kudos to them. So Flacco will now be Cincinnati Bengal, and away we go. Kudos to that brother, and we wish him the best out there in Cincinnati land. By the way, shout out to my man Jeff King. What's going on? Shout out to my girl Laura. Shout out to the whole crew. By the way, Patriots fans, hey, listen, this is your time to hoot and have a good time. Hoot and holler all you want, right? Don't you love our new defense? Listen, credit has to be given, and acknowledged. You paid for your defense, and you're earning every lick of it. You paid for a good corner. Yeah, interior line has been revamped. You paid a lot of money to revamp that team. You paid a lot of money to revamp that old line, the receiver room. Like you had to. You did what you need to do. You use your draft capital well, and it's paying dividends for you. So big shout out to the Patriots. The Patriots, they look good. Y'all look good. Now, you guys have a inconsistency problem though, because you'll have a good game like the one you just had against the Bills. I'll give it to you. We did shoot ourselves in the foot a lot, but you guys played some great defense. Shout out to Christian Gonzalez. Like that boy, and he nice. That boy nice. But let's see how you do next week. I mean, I think you guys have a favor. You guys have a very good schedule coming up, so you guys should do well. You guys should stack a couple wins and make it a fight in the AFC East. So the Bills will get their act together. We'll get our act together, and we'll be back on top like we're supposed to be, and then we'll go from there. By the way, shout out to Arrowhead Nation. He's here. Salute to you. All right, so noise around the league. So we got that out of the way. Cincinnati Bengals do their thing. Away you go. Here's another one that I wanted to touch on. Coach Gannon out of the Arizona Cardinals has been fined $100,000 for the incident that happened between him and DeMarcado, the running back for the Cardinals, on the sideline. Fined $100,000. Now, if you guys are living under a rock and are unsure of what has taken place, let me refresh your memory. Just a week ago, I don't know who the player was, but they crossed the goal line and dropped, what am I saying? It's Adonai Mitchell, the receiver from the Indianapolis Colts, 80-yard reception, about to cross the goal line, but it wasn't like he was, I guess you can call it showing off. He was about to raise that ball like Dion, right? Put that ball in the air like Dion. But Butterfingers, I don't know what you want to call it, Butterfingers or tiny little hands, but that ball slipped out of my man's hands and went out of the end zone, which pretty much cost them the game. The Colts lost that game for that. If not, they'd be 5-0 right now. So you think the whole league is put on notice for this? What an idiot! What a bozo! DeMarcado runs 76-yard touchdown. It's right there, and he decides to let the ball go. It didn't slip. He just let the ball go. But guess what? Right before he crossed the goal line, that's a fumble. The point doesn't count. And guess what? That would have put the Cardinals up 28-7, something stupid. They lose that game, ladies and gentlemen. They lose that game because of that act, and obviously because of stupid blunders. But the point I'm trying to make is this. Coach from the Arizona Cardinals walks over to DeMarcado, chews him out as he should, and popped him on the chest and walked off. Everybody's making a scene. Oh, you can't put hands on a player like that. You can't do this. Let me tell you something. I wholeheartedly disagree with everybody talking about that was out of place. Absolutely not. We're grown men in a multi-billion-dollar business. The GM, the owner of this team, pays me to do my job, and my job is to coach this team to W's. And if my player is out of hand and doing bozo stuff, I'm gonna put you in your place. How many times when we were playing sports, or you're playing lacrosse, you're playing hockey, you're playing football, you're playing whatever physical sport that you're playing, and coach was chewing you out or giving you a pep talk and gave you a pat on the chest or a pat on the shoulder or hit you on the head? It wasn't because they want to demean you. No, it's like, wake up. He gave him it's a grown man. Boom, wake up, man. You're gonna fine me $100,000 for that? Bro, this society is getting super soft. You shouldn't have did that. Oh, that's wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. You got chewed out. And the worst part is, before the coach walks over to him, you got a big lineman holding him and caressing him and saying, it's going to be okay, buddy. It's all right. Man, you're grown. We're all grown here. We're not in high school. We're not in Pop Warner. We're in the NFL. This is the elite of the elite. You all right, little buddy? You cheer up. You cheer up. You're going to be just fine. No. Gannon came in and said, no, you're not fine. You know better than that. Hold on to the football. And we lost the game. Come on, man. We have gotten so soft, so weak. We can't take no criticism. We can't take a little pop. Bro, this era, This era of football, you got Jackson Dart getting just creamed. Clean hit, nothing to the helmet, no nothing. Flag. What do you hit him too hard? Is that what happened? Bro, what is happening? Everywhere I look, everybody's whining and crying, bro. I'll tell you right now. When I watch my girls play, and it's not even sports, it's life in general, bro. Ain't nobody gonna care about your feelings anywhere. So I try to get these guys toughened up right now. That's why I'm an 80s. I was born in the 80s, bro. I think we have one of those. We're the last era of being tough. You know what I'm saying? We're the last era of understanding, like, yo, tough luck. Grow up. You be all right. You know what I'm saying? You gonna live. People get shot every day, B. People get shot every day, B. You be all right. You cool? Bro, you get to the 90s, you get to the 2000s, bro, it's over with. Y'all are soft. Y'all cooked. You guys are cooked. 80s, that's when the last of the eras of the tough people that, that know toughness. The rest of y'all, man, soft, man. So, the fact that coach has to pay $100,000 for that, bro, tripping. Anyway, born in 84, by the way. Shout out to you in this chat if you're born in 89 and below. Okay, 89 and below. Sorry if you're in the 90s, bro. You're cooked, bro. You're done. 89 and below, you good with me. You are good with me. So shout out to you if you guys are born. And you let me know. Drop your age. Drop the year of your birth right in the chat so we get this thing going. So anyway, Gannon gets fined $100,000. That's weak. I didn't like it. It's terrible. Anyway, my man Jeff King says, thank you. My coaches and gym teachers had no problem jacking any one of us up. And you better hope you didn't go home and cry to dad because dad wasn't having it. And you know what? Kitty cats not apply. Kitty cats need not apply. I'm telling you right now, it ain't gonna work. You go home, and I tell you right now, if I'm the coach and I popped your son, I'm calling your dad like, yo, by the way, I gave your son a pop just to kind of wake him up a little bit. So if he comes home a little bruised up, just know that I did it. You got a coach. What you sniffling for? What you crying for? Coach hit me. I heard about it. Why'd he do that? Boy, please, man, get out of here with that. Yo, we getting too soft, man. We getting too soft. We need to toughen up. We need to toughen up, man. 1975. I love it, man. We got an 81 baby in here. I got any 84s in here? Any 84s in this house, man? Come on, man. I'm not having that. I ain't having that. I got to ask my man Carl Jones when he was born. I'm going to ask him about that, by the way. Oh, yeah, when you were born, bro. Tell me when you were born. If he tells me 1990, I'm like, yo, you're done. You're cooked, bro. You're done. 2008. Ooh, you cooked. Robert Kane, you cooked, bro. You're in that soft era. You're in that soft era, bro. We ain't doing it. We ain't here for you. All right. Last point around the league. What I wanted to touch on was looking at this division. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the AFC is wide the F open. Wide open. And when I tell you it's wide open, man. Because if you're looking at what we're looking at and you see what we see, bro, let me give you the standings here that we're looking at. I don't like to go. I want to go to conference. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts 4-1, and right now we're ranked number 2 with a loss to the Patriots, obviously. So we're 4-1, and they're on a win streak. So I'm assuming they get the number 1 because they're on a win streak, and we just took the L. So I mean, they just flopped. So we're tied for the number 1 team in the AFC. But look at this, man. Pittsburgh Steelers 3-1. Los Angeles Chargers 3-2. The Jacksonville freaking Jaguars taking down the Chiefs last night 4-1. Denver Broncos 3-2. Patriots 3-2. And then the rest 2-3. 2-3 Texans, 2-3 Chiefs. Look at this. The Raiders, Ravens, Dolphins, Browns, Titans. All 1-win teams. And then you got the lowly Jets at the bottom. I feel bad for the Jets. I really do. They're not as bad as they are, but they just can't put things together, man. That week 1 looked really good. Everybody was like, "Oh, watch out for these Jets." No, sir. No, ma'am. It's not happening. But look at this, man. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And I'm just giving you the top 7 teams right now. Right here. Here they are. Ain't that something? So if this playoffs were to start today, I know how early, you know how crazy early that is? That's insane, right? Bengals out, Texans out, Chiefs out, Ravens out. Oh, what a wild, wild time that we live in right now. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of what's taking place, this is amazing. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. And I love the parity in the league. This is what I love seeing. I really do like seeing this. So let's keep it up. We love to see it, and we want to continue to keep this up. So I just want to drop that in the chat just so we can get it kind of cracking. And let's get it moving. I just want to double check to make sure Carl got the link, and then I'm gonna get right into my show. If you guys are appreciating the show that we're about to get into, let me know, and we'll get it cracking. Perfect. He's got the link. He's gonna be on in no time. All right, let me get to my first point. And I wanted to wait for Carl, but you know what? I'm too fired up for it, so I got to talk about it. So first of all, let's get the things out of the way and talk about roster moves that we've done. Ladies and gentlemen, we have made a roster move. If you guys have been living under a rock, we had to make some move. Charlo, the undrafted, has been signed to the roster. We know that already. Matt Milano hurt again. He was out by the first half. We never got to see him again, and he hurt his pec. He hurt that again, and now, you know what I'm saying, we're in trouble. We're in trouble because we don't have linebacker depth. So now our linebackers are as follows. We have Bernard. We got Shaq Thompson. Dorian Williams is hurt right now, so then Joe Andreessen's going to have to get up. So there's your three right now. Joe Andreessen, Shaq Thompson, Bernard. Then we got Charlo, more for a special team guy. And the other, we're waiting for, Williams to come back, Dorian Williams. So now this leaves us with a spot that we need just in case. Balin Spector. We have brought back Mr. Balin Spector to the Bills, the guy that we cut early in the offseason. We say, yo, we got no room for you. You're out of here. And then here come the Bills doing what Bills do, bringing back familiar faces. I saw somewhere on Twitter that said, you know what? Instead of calling it the practice squad, just call it the alumni squad. You know what I'm saying? And we're just bringing people back that we love. Yeah, I mean, everybody gets an opportunity. Hey, Amari Cooper, you ready to come back, baby? Hey, Isaiah McKenzie, Little Dirty, you ready to come back? Yo, we ain't looking anywhere else. We're looking at dudes that have come. We're looking at, you name it. Name an ex-Bill the last 2 to 3 years. We could call them back. I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, Micah Hyde, I got room for you, bro. You ready to come back? Because look at the way the safety room looks. I don't know. We might need you back. This is what it's looking like, folks. Now, am I mad at it? No. Do you need the depth? Yes. Are we hurting at linebacker? Absolutely. Most folks are saying, hey, but we're hurting at the DB room. We're hurting over here. Right now, our linebacker room is kind of dicey right now. So they had no choice but to have someone that knows the system. You know the drill. They need to know the system. They need to know the culture, and at least a guy that's available right now, ready to go. So that's where we're sitting at the moment, and we go from there. So that being said, here we are live at it, and Balin Spector returns to the squad just for depth, special teams. If anything, if he does get activated to the squad, you never know if he does or not. But that's what we get from there. All right, and then we go from there. So welcome back, Balin Spector, and we'll go from there. Now, let's talk about some things that were revealed this week. All right, I think you guys are well aware. You guys are a pretty smart group. Keon Coleman, and I didn't want to start here, but I feel like it's necessary to start here. Keon Coleman, if you guys noticed, he didn't play in the first series against the Patriots. And the series that he does get in, Josh Allen and Joe Brady try to get him involved by throwing him an easy curl hook, catches it. Whether you want to call him warm, cold, whatever you want to call it, he catches it, fumbles immediately. Patriots recover inside our 20. And it just felt like this is not going to be a good game because of those things. Now, call it what you want, but the major thing here is we have our second round draft pick that, to me, is supposed to be a game-changing type player, right? A team-moving type player. When you draft a person in the first round, normally that's, and especially more specifically in the first 15 picks, that's a pillar to your team, right? You're building. That's a part of the foundation of your team. We didn't draft him in the first round. Some might say it was kind of like a first round, but technically, no, it wasn't. It was a second round draft pick. He was graded as a second round player. He was disciplined by coach. Coach said, that's a coach decision. That's how we gonna do it. And it is what it is. I'm paraphrasing here. So then hold on, let's go back to last year. There was a moment that this guy had to miss a whole quarter because of what I think he was late for a meeting or something silly. So here's a second situation where Keon Coleman, one of the guys that's supposed to be leading this receiving corps, is either late for team meetings or not being prepared or late for practice. Who knows what the reasons are? Nobody's really disclosed it. I assume it's meetings, something to do with meetings. Bro, we're too grown for this. Like, this is your profession now. You don't have to do the 9 to 5s that the regular Joes like myself and everybody in this chat, or maybe somebody's a millionaire in this chat and I don't know about it, but somebody in this chat is either a student or is working a 9 to 5 or is a contractor, works for themselves, whatever you want to call it, but we're all working, right? These guys get to play a child's game. All you got to do is show up to class, watch the same things every day, doing the thing you love most. Show up. And you're getting paid a lot of money to do it. Show up. If indeed that's the situation, regardless, the point is the fact that you got sat down for a series, it must have been minor, but big enough that people noticed that you weren't playing. It comes to the point where, fellas, you got to take your profession seriously. And this is why it makes me admire people like Stephon Diggs, because there's no playing with Stephon Diggs. He's serious about his craft. He's serious about this game. He's serious about winning. There's no playing games. There's no playing games. That's enough. This is my livelihood. This is what I do. I got to take my craft seriously, and it shows on film. What are we doing, Keon? Bro, you're not in college no more, bro. And whatever it might be a silly reason. The point is, you gave your coach a reason to sit your ass. We ain't got no time for that. So McDermott, you know what I mean, exercising his head coaching powers to say, hey, no, it's unacceptable. Whatever it is that he was doing, what the coach was saying, he needs to mature. Although he's matured, he's gotten better, but we need consistency. You can't be showing me you grown and you about that life and you about this team, and then you do some instances that don't show that. Show me your fruits. You feel me? Show me your fruits, man. Show me what you're about. You're inconsistent. So when you have stuff like this, it permeates and it bleeds onto the field. It bleeds into your chemistry with your quarterback. There's a couple, jump balls that you should have no business having a 5'8" corner, you know what I'm saying, locking you up, and you can't go up and get that. Granted, the ball could be a little better, but use your size, my G, which I'm going to get into afterwards because I got things to say, man. I got things to say. So understanding that coach, that's his squad, that's his team, and he understands that, bro, there is a standard that we are supposed to hold here, and I need you to adhere to that, and I need you to be here. Simple as that. You didn't show up? All right, then you're going to sit. It's as simple as that. Oh, coach, I was here, but I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. I used to have a coach that told me, if you're 5 minutes, what was it? I know he took it from somewhere else. I'm paraphrasing here. If you're 5 minutes early, you're late. Or if you're 5 minutes early, you're late, or something stupid like that. You know what I'm saying? Meaning get here way earlier. You know what I'm saying? Like just getting there. I think it was, if you're on time, you're late. That's what he used to say. Bro, if you're just making it on time, you're late. And I used to be like, what are you talking about? You're just making it here? You're late, bro. I need somebody that's ready to go, that's there early. That means they understand the craft. They understand how important it is. So get that crap out of your system now, Mr. Keon, because we're going to need you, bro. At one point or another, we're going to need you to elevate. And that's within the classroom, on the team, and elevate onto the field. That's the way I'm looking at it. If you guys are understanding where I'm coming from, smash that like. Let me know if you guys are with me. If I'm overreacting, smash that like and let me know I'm overreacting, and get in the chat and let me know. Let me know and let me have it. But these type of things make me admire Stephon Diggs. I can't hold it. You saw part of me, and I'm not saying that I envied what I saw from Diggs, but I missed it. If you were a true Bills fan, bro, weren't we super happy fans when we just saw Josh and Diggs just having a good time killing teams and doing all that stuff, bro? I loved it. Part of me was like, yo, I'm happy for Diggs that he kind of gets to kind of come on and do what he needs to do. I didn't like it that it was against us. I certainly didn't like it that it was against us, but I kind of liked it for him to kind of to see that this is the standard. I wanted him doing all the things that he did to the Bills. I'm hoping that Khalil Shakir, Keon Coleman, Kincaid, you know what I'm saying, Curtis Samuel, Favors, the whole receiving crew is watching what the standard is. That's what Josh Allen was throwing to, and that's what Josh Allen was comfortable throwing to and relied upon, and he was dependable. One of you guys, if you guys can match this energy, bro, the team that we would beat. The team that we would beat. But nope. We sitting here, manja. Don't get me started. I'm going to get into that in a little bit. But we're going to have to see a little bit more. We're going to have to see a little bit more. We're going to have to see some maturity. And that's what coach was asking for. Give me some maturity. Step your game up. Man. All right, Keon, I hope you learned your lesson, brother. I hope you learned your lesson. By the way, let me give a shout out to my guy, Jeff King, coming in with a big ass super chat. You know you're my guy, and I appreciate the love. And every penny that usually goes to this channel, it goes right back in this channel. And I know that you guys work hard for your dollars, and I appreciate that. That's love from my guy, Jeff King. Jeff King comes in, says, I love the individuals who come here defending everyone, from coach to player. That tells me how new you are to the pain that comes with being a Bills fan. Wake up and grow up. You apparently missed the 4 Super Bowls we lost. Everybody is accountable. Woo! Jeff King ain't having it, because there's probably someone in the chat saying, hey, slow down, man. You take it easy on Keon or whoever you're defending. I don't know, right? But I know my man Jeff King is always in the trenches talking. I love it. Appreciate you, but it's true. If you've been watching this team through the rough times, I'm talking prior to the 4 Super Bowls, there were some rough times, and then we got up to the Super Bowls, and we lost those 4, and then we're down again, and then we're back up again, bro. You just know how it feels. So a big shout out to my guy Jeff King, always coming in showing some love, much love. You know how I feel about you. We know how I feel. All right, you got to take your time, brother. So here's the deal. While I do my thing, and while I love this team, you guys know me well enough now that I call it what it is. Sometimes I'm way off, and if I catch myself being way off, I correct myself and say, yo, I own that one. So here we go. Let's get into it. This past game, coach mentioned something, and it's something that I think we've at least muttered once or twice. Coach talked about something, and he mentioned being too cute. I certainly know he is not talking about this defense, or maybe he is, because he knows his defense enough. But too cute? How many times have we said, man, what's Joe Brady trying to be too cute for? Man, he acted too cute. What's all that jet sweep and flicker this and screen there, and man, you being too cute. Man, you cute, boy. You soft, you sweet. Feels like that's what he's talking about. And I love the fact that he said it right on there. Yo, sometimes we're being too cute, man. Who you think you're talking about? Joe Brady. So what does that mean? Is he saying, hey, man, do the things that gets the job done. Stop trying to be, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to get out of where our identity is. Get back to the basics. You know that's McDermott. Get back to the fundamentals. That's McDermott. And Joe Brady chain out and everything. He's like, hold on, I don't do the fundamentals, baby. I get cute sometimes. Sometimes I like to kind of let me do something a little different. McDermott's like, I'm the head coach here. Get back to the fundamentals. Let's do what we do. Power run. You know, do what we need to do. That's the way I look at it. But someone that I respect dearly might have a different opinion. So he knows what I need from him to let me know that he's ready to go. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, My guy, Carl Jones. Carl Jones, what's happening, baby?
Man, I'm glad to be back. It's been a minute, but it's good to be back on the Rico Report, my boy.
Listen. We got things to talk about because I value your opinion. So I don't want to go too far because I wanted to touch on things, but I wanted to wait and get your opinion on some things. But I do want to get your thoughts on coach from the Arizona Cardinals getting fined $100,000 for popping his player on the chest. Bow. Say, hey, you know better than that. Now I'm paraphrasing. He probably said something else, but I'm sure there was some choice words. Have you ever, in your time playing football, where you may have done something uncharacteristic and you messed up on a play, and your position coach, your head coach came to you and said, hey man, you better than that. Boom. Or a smack on the shoulder pads or a smack on the helmet, and he walked off. Maybe it was a little hard. Have you ever had that?
Not past high school. Nobody ever touched me in college. No, I think that once I got to college, it was more like of a chest bump type of deal, like more of a but like once we start, like even if it was like a little hit, like you also don't know like these other men and like what is and isn't acceptable to some people. Not everyone is raised the same way. Not everyone, is cool with that. Now in high school and below, for sure, I done had dudes. Coaches slap me upside my head, shoulder pads, grab face masks, all type of jazz. But I know, and I'm not going to air nobody out publicly, I had some teammates where if you pop them in the chest, it's going to be some fireworks for sure.
Bet. I got two questions for you. A, was coach out of pocket and out of line? B, what year were you born?
I was born in 1998, so I am 27. And do I think he was out of line? I think it's player by player. I truly do. I think that Andy Reid could do that to Travis Kelce because they got that type of relationship. As we see, they both been hitting each other, like whatever. But Andy Reid wouldn't do that to Xavier Worthy. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think everyone doesn't get the same treatment on a football team. Like even if you were to talk about like back in the good old days when coaches used to be doing that to like today players, you wouldn't hit every single player. And if you did, I don't know if you really know your team like that. You feel me? Like not every player is going to receive that type of, I don't know about punishment, but that type of criticism the same way. So
coach was out of line, you're saying?
Clearly that player ain't like it. Clearly that one ain't like it. I don't know. Maybe Marvin Harrison is cool with that. I don't know. But my boy who dropped the fumble was clearly not okay with coaches putting hands on him.
So the reason I asked you what year you're born, because earlier I was saying, hey man, to me that's a good old fashioned pop you on the chest and say, hey man, smarten up. You know better. We're grown. You're making lots of money. I'm making lots of money. We got a job to do, and you're making my job harder because we lost the game eventually because of something like this, where we could have been way ahead and made the other team more one-dimensional, and they came back and they beat us because we're a bad team. On top of that, I'm frustrated. And then you do this. We just saw Adonai Mitchell do the same thing. What you doing? Pop, smarten up. And I was saying, hey, people born in 89 and under would say, you know what? Man, toughen up. You all right. 90 and above ain't going to get it. They're going to be like, well, not everybody deals with that type of stuff. And you came out and was like, pretty much, hey, man, some people could deal with it. Some people could not. And I asked if he's out of line. You're like, you're almost pleading the fifth almost.
Well, I mean, to be fair, everyone thought Travis Kelce was tripping for what he did in the Super Bowl, but nobody.
Nothing.
Those two clearly can do that. Now, Once again, Isaiah Pacheco do that to Andy Reid, and well, Isaiah Pacheco will be working at Home Depot. So, like, it's player by player, and depending on the situation.
I love it. I had to kind of get that out the way and get your opinion on that. So let's get right to it, man. Coach McDermott got on the press conference and mentioned the term or the two words, too cute. What's he referring to? What are your thoughts on what he's referring to exactly when he said too cute?
I mean, the initial thought that I think most people in that room thought it was referring to Joe Brady and maybe some of the play calls and not necessarily just the Dawson Knox jet sweep play that I'm sure everyone thought of when the word cute came up. I don't know the exact point of the game because everything is a blur at this point, but even the Josh Allen, like power read play on the goal line where he kept it and maybe he should have gave it to Ty Johnson. you have one of the best offensive lines and probably to this point the best in football this year through 5 weeks. I'm sure Sean McDermott in his mind is like, why not just line up behind those big fellas and just run the ball instead of trying to
get too cute
or whatever, right? So I think there was some stuff where there was a bunch of, I want to say a bunch, but I think there were at least a few examples where I could see McDermott's perspective on the offense getting a little out of character instead of relying on the things that got them there, which is the best offensive line of football and a strong run game.
Based on this game that we concluded, obviously we got to give credit to the New England Patriots. I think they played sound on defense. I think they played disciplined on defense in terms of keeping Josh at bay. There wasn't a whole lot of him making huge plays, rolling out of the pocket. They limited that. They didn't allow him to get comfortable behind there. What did the Patriots do so well, or what was it that just gave the offense some fits and gave them some challenges?
I would say two things. The first of which is that they competed in the run game defensively. I think that was the best run. The Patriots have one of the best run defenses in football, yes, and it bared out. They didn't shut down the Bills by any means, but I think they just made things a little bit more uncomfortable than what the Bills saw the first month of the season, where they were just running down Broadway, run left, run right, and 8 yards of pop was going to appear. I think the Patriots made them grind for their work, so I think that was one thing. And then the other is a formula that has given the Bills problems, quite frankly, since Joe Brady came into the picture. And this is not a Joe Brady thing, but it's just a timeline. When you have guys on the outside that can really run with your receivers and blanket them, this Bills offense at times can get a little stagnant. It kind of reminds me, and I tweeted this out, well, I don't know, tweet exit out, whatever, on my page the other day. It kind of reminded me of the Texans formula and how they gave the Bills fits last year. Now, the one difference between that game and this one, the Patriots don't have Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. So Josh Allen was still good enough and had enough time to make plays. But if y'all remember that Texans game, Josh Allen was under duress the entire game because the O-line just couldn't protect those horses that the Texans had. But also Derek Stingley and Kamari Lassiter were basically bored out there in how they were just locking guys down. So I think when you think of that combination that the Patriots were able to put up a fight in the run game, and then on the outside, I'm not going to say the inside, like the backers and safeties, because Kincaid ate. But Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis took the fight to the Bills receivers, and that's why it wasn't as cohesive as it was prior to that.
It certainly was not, and it doesn't help. And I feel strongly about my segment that I'm going to hit later on with the receivers and this offense. But looking at what Christian Gonzalez and I don't know, I think there was a game. Christian Gonzalez got hurt last year, right? This is the first year back, correct? Yes. So we didn't really get a chance to face Christian Gonzalez and these Patriots. No. So you got a taste of a healthy lockdown corner, and when we don't have the pieces, in my opinion, to go against these top dogs, it's going to be a type of long day for Josh Allen and the offense. But I'm going to get into that in just a little bit. But I want to stick to the defense because you're the defensive expert here. All right. You're my guy. Let's hit on this defense, man. And I want to talk about the defensive front. I thought the defensive front played well, relatively well, very well, actually, I might say. Holding the Patriots to under 100 rushing yards. The Patriots weren't known to run for, big time runners, although they have some good backs on the squad, but they weren't known. Their O-line is not good enough to run block to get these guys consistently over 100 yards. So we kept these guys out there to 71 yards rushing. That's a check mark on my book. Then you have the front seven and what they were doing. That's fine. The back end, Trey White, Benford, and I'm a fan of Benford. You're also a big fan of Benford. Are we? And I asked my man Z about this. Did we take a piglet? We took some Maybelline and we put makeup on that thing and say, "Yo, I'm presenting you this." Are we a pig with makeup on? Are we not as good as we think we are, or was it's a bad game and it just made everyone look bad? Did Stephon Diggs just sun everybody and he was just that nice that day? Like, tell me more about this defense. More specifically, is this secondary something that we should be concerned about?
You threw a lot at me right there. Okay,
I know I did. I'm
going to go piece by piece with this.
All right.
In terms of the defense as a whole, I thought coming into the season, at least, and I know some guys have gotten hurt, suspensions, that this defense had the ability to be an above average unit, but they had to play as one because they didn't have really any S tier all pro players. And usually when you have a good to elite group, there is one player that can change the tide of that unit. And the Bills just don't have that. But you can still be a good defense if you play sound defense, you communicate well, and you tackle. And I think the Bills have struggled at least in two of those departments so far this year. Now, when you talk about the back end, I think that if you want to start with Trey White, he obviously hasn't played up to their standards so far this year, which hasn't caused the Bills as many fits as it maybe could have based on paper, based off of the fact that they haven't played really anyone so far this year. They play Lamar Jackson in week 1, then you get Justin Fields, Spencer Rattler, and then a Miami's Dolphins team that basically checked the ball down every single play. So Trey White really hasn't been tested a whole lot. But then you play Drake May, who for my money is going to be a top 10 quarterback in this league by the time we get to November. And he is a good enough quarterback to make and hit all angles of the field. I mean, you think about that whole shot he hit on that final drive of the game. There's not many quarterbacks on planet Earth who can execute that confidently at that point in the game, especially. So Trey's obviously not playing well. Christian Benford, I don't think is playing up to the standard that he was at last year, and that isn't helping. I think the safeties have flip-flopped. I think Cole Bishop has actually played well the past 2 weeks, especially. I think Taylor Rapp has been a little bit more inconsistent. I wouldn't say bad, but I think he's just been there. I think there's been plays to be made. I think there's plays that he's missed out on as well. And how this ties back in with the front guys, you can get by with a secondary that maybe is a little bit more sporadic if the guys up front carry them. The problem is the Bills' defensive line, while you say they played a solid game, and I agree, solid isn't enough to maybe make up for some of the limitations on the back end. And I think that's where they're going to have to find some nice yin and yang to make this thing work defensively against some of the best teams in the National Football League. Shout out to Laura. I appreciate that comment right there. But I think that's more of the issue. I don't think the Bills' D-line is bad by any means. I think it's when everyone's there, I think you're going to be an above-average unit. No, there's not any Pro Bowls or All-Pros on it, but they have in their starting lineup 4 guys who can at least get after the pass rusher and at least stop the run to a certain extent. But that's not good enough if you have some lesser than spots in the back end, or if the guy you gave a lot of money to and a guy who I respect and think is a hell of a ball player, Christian Benford, isn't playing up to that standard. So there's a whole lot with the defense. But that's my synopsis in like a 2-3 minute format.
Is Trey? I'm going to put you on the spot. I'm sorry. I got to. Is Trey White cooked? Is he cooked?
I don't think that if this team wants to win a Super Bowl that he can be out there on the field on a every down snap basis. I just think that what he does and does not bring to the table shows up against some of the better teams in the league, and not even better teams. I think some of the teams that can. I don't think the Patriots are great, but I think Drake May is, and I think because of his ability to hit every angle of the field and his ability to make plays like that hurts. Spencer Rattler, good example here. When the Saints or Justin Fields or Tua Tagovailoa roll into town, those quarterbacks aren't making that play that Drake May did when Stephon Diggs rolled out on a scramble drill and hit him down the right sideline. Those 3 quarterbacks can't do that. And you're right. Whoever's in the chat right now talking about some, well, yeah, Drake May's that good. Not a lot of quarterbacks can. You're right. The problem is the Buffalo Bills aren't held to a standard of the wild card or the divisional round. This team has Super Bowl aspirations as they should. So you are going to have to play Drake May caliber and better players if you want to hoist the Lombardi trophy. So to answer your question, yes, I think that his best days in terms of being an every down player probably behind him. But I don't think this was their plan coming into the season. I think they just wanted to throw a bunch of competition in that room and let the best man win. The problem is that competition fell off because of injury. Maybe Dane Jackson wasn't what they thought he was. Dorian Strong gets hurt. So it was kind of by default that Trey White is his every down player, and they're stuck between a rock and a hard place at the moment.
I saw a PFF grade for Christian Benford at below 50 grade.
Yeah.
I'm not a mathematician. I know 100 is excellent. That's perfect. And I know 0 is god awful. 50, you're right on the mark. He was below that.
Yeah.
What's going on with my man Christian Benford this year? I don't see the guy that I saw last year. Now, maybe he was playing for that big contract. Who knows? Even though he had a year left on it, and it's another point, but I just haven't seen it. Playing corner, you've done it, and this is why I'm asking you, because I'm a fan of Benford. He's one of my favorite players on the squad. Just hasn't played up to the part. Does that have a lot to do with the talent around him? Meaning, who his safety is,
right?
Who his counterpart on the other side? Is he making up for it? But I'm on the other side. Is he playing within this? Is he playing just within the scheme? And that's what it is. I mean, we're paying him that much, and I know I'm throwing a lot at you.
Yeah.
If Diggs is killing me, hey man, scrap all this, man. Man to man, take this man and do it by yourself. But I just haven't seen the money that we paid him. We're not getting the dividends. What's going on? Is it a combination of things, or it's just not his year right now?
You know me, it's a whole bunch of stuff. I'll start with the Diggs part. The Patriots and Josh McDaniels, as any Bills fan knows, maybe he's not a head coach, but he's a brilliant offensive mind. You don't win as many Super Bowls as he did, even with a Tom Brady, you aren't smart. And a combination between him and Drake May is going to be phenomenal. Not to go on a tangent, but the fact that if Mike Vrabel's the head coach, I don't think Josh McDaniels ever getting another head coaching job. That's going to be a fun duo to watch. Maybe not for y'all, but it'll be a fun duo to watch as they progress. That's my sidebar. Now, so that's why it was really difficult to just shadow Stephon Diggs. He was in a slot, lining up all over the place. They did a good job moving him around. Now, in terms of Christian Benford's play this season, I think it's a bunch of stuff. I think that the guys around you plays a part into that for sure. The best cornerbacks tend to play on teams with really good pass rushes and really good just perimeter play around them. But also, and I think this is something that I found to be true, at least in the last 3 or 4 years of really diving in and watching the NFL. Cornerback is a very volatile position in terms of the fact that it's rare that you are going to be at the top of your craft year to year at that position. Pat Surtain can do it.
Yep.
Derek Stingley can do it. I think Denzel Ward has been in that part. But we're talking about the top 3-4 guys in the position. I think corner more than any other position of football, maybe even linebacker. I think linebacker you can put into this bucket as well, maybe safety, where 1 through 5 is always going to be there. But that 5 through 15 to 20, which I think Christian Benford falls in, it shuffles around a little bit just based off the volatility of the position and how one fingernail is the difference between an interception or a PBU and a completion. And I don't think the way he's playing right now is going to be the way it's going to be the entire year. But I think there is some truth. I mean, you guys watch Trey White. He wasn't an all-pro every year when he was in Buffalo. Now, he was always good. But there's a difference between being good and all-pro. And I think that's the line where, as a Bills fan, I'm sure it's frustrating when they give and reward Christian Benford with this contract. You expect him to maybe not just stay at the level he was at last year, but go somewhere higher, and it hasn't been that to this point. I don't think he's been bad. I know the Patriots game, he gave up some targets, especially some plays down the sideline. But he hasn't maybe been that, I don't know if he's the 16th or 17th highest paid corner. He hasn't really played up to that standard to that point.
And I agree. And will he perform like an all-pro? I mean, not that he's ever been all-pro, but he was close to being a Pro Bowl last year. He was on the
right. Yeah.
He was on the brink. And I totally get that. The talent that plays a part. Two stat that I'm going to bring to you. We're apparently second worst in missed tackles in the league, allegedly. I saw 2 conflicting stats telling me one was
bad either way. It's bad either way.
It's bad either way. That's number 1. Number 2, no pass breakups. Now, I find that an interesting stat because just because you don't get a pass breakup or just because you don't get interception don't mean that you're not doing your job, right? Dion may not have gotten any pass breakups, but ain't nobody throwing my way, so I don't got to pass break anything. So, but the fact that we are bottom of the league or really low on pass breakups this year, what's that telling us? Are we playing off? We're playing too much zone. Are we playing shook? Are we not manning up on these boys? Are we not opportunistic? What plays a part? And this is a convoluted question, but I mean, I'm hoping that you can kind of give me some insight here.
No, I've been thinking about this the past couple of days because I've seen that same statistic, and I think it's twofold. The Bills haven't played a bunch of drop back passing teams so far this year. When you think about the New York Jets, And I know the Dolphins passed the ball, but y'all watched the same game I did.
Yep,
They barely
yep.
tried to throw the ball past the line of scrimmage.
It's a great point.
The Saints, the Ravens didn't need to pass the ball for obvious reasons. And then
the Saints.
and then the Patriots, I think, while they did throw the ball all over the yard, it wasn't a necessarily just drop back, let Drake May cook type of deal. They was moving them, play action, all type of jazz. So it's hard to get pass breakups when it's a bunch of play action shots and quick rollouts and things of that nature. But I'm not going to give bail and just say like, oh my gosh, that's the reason why they haven't gotten any statistics in that regard. I just don't think they've been competitive in terms of when the ball's in the air. And I think that's twofold. And when I think about the cornerbacks, it's third down, make a play. And you can come up with any rhyme or reason as to why the offense wins. I know they get paid too. I sung Drake May and Josh McDaniels praise, but hey, Sean McDermott's a damn good coach as well. Put you guys in positions to make plays. I think if Christian Benford, that long 15-yard comeback to Booty on the sideline, be more competitive than that. I know technically on the whiteboard, you're supposed to stay on the top and like keep everything underneath, but Christian Benford, you're not scared of Booty running past you. Let's be a little bit more tight on that play. And then when I think of the safeties as well, Hunter Henry let's say good. I think he's a solid. Yeah, I think he's a solid tight end. And there were a few plays in that game where I thought the safeties were a little too deep in their depth. And maybe what I mean by that is on a whiteboard, sure, get to your landmarks of 20, 25 yards because that's what you are coached to do. And I've been a safety. I was a safety at Q's for a year. And at times, yes, the whiteboard is one thing. But you also are a player. You're not a robot. I can get anyone to just go out there and pedal. And I think that you have to feel routes sometimes and be a little bit more competitive and be more instinctual when the ball is in the air. A couple of those Hunter Henry plays down the middle of the field. If I'm a safety, your corners they're on top on the outside. You don't need to be the deepest of the deep when Hunter Henry's running on the scene. Hunter Henry's not Tyreek Hill. He's not. Hunter Henry is no disrespect to that brother because he had a fabulous game. He is a decent athlete at tight end, point blank, period. And if you are Cole Bishop and as well as Taylor Rapp, you should be more comfortable in your facilities to where, yes, you'd be on top of it, but like that back foot better be ready to hit that ground as fast as you can when that ball's in the air. So I think it's twofold. Yes, they haven't played a bunch of good passing games, but I think they can be a little bit more competitive when the ball's in the air.
Listen, we're going up against, and people are they're probably going to chuckle at this, but Drake London can play.
No, yeah, he's a baller.
He's a baller. Kyle Pitts, I know people want to chuckle. You mess around and he'll get you. He's athletic. And if we ain't on top of that, we got Bernard and Shaq Thompson, and you get this brother in space, it can be problematic. Darnell Mooney, if he gets healthy, that's a lot to deal with. So this passive defense that we've been playing, and you might as well bring Kyrie Elam back because this is what it's reminding me of just being overly passive and not really aggressive. Like you said, stick your foot in the ground and get after it. Third down, make a play. Right. So, which brings me to this one. Hairston is a different type of corner. His speed allows him to
not play the whiteboard as much. To not play the whiteboard as much. You can
not play the whiteboard. That's the best way I can say. Not play the whiteboard. Go play football.
Right.
Go play football. I'm gonna just play within the X and O's and be where I'm supposed to be, and hopefully we do that, bro. Be a player. Right. Be the guy that we need you to be. So Max Hairston coming back, I'm hoping that he gives us a bit of a buzz whenever he decides to come back. I think that can kind of change the dynamic. Maybe it heightens the skill level of Benford and everybody else. But I had to bring that up because I see what the Drake May did to us. And granted, he's a good player and he's gonna be, like you said, a top 10 player in this game at one point. But fam, we could have done way better.
Yeah.
Shutting him down.
No, for sure. And that Patriots, listen, for what I said about Drake May, and I think good quarterbacks can uplift the group around them. There's not a receiver on that team besides Stephon Diggs that would start on any other decent team in the National Football League. No disrespect to Mac Hollins, no disrespect to Keyshawn Booty. That isn't a team that you should be fearful of. And I just thought that against a group like that, you just more competitive, just juice. And I'm not saying them boys not competitive. Of course they are. But in terms of the routes down the field, like, hey, man, like, I'm Cole Bishop. I'm Taylor Rapp. I get paid too. Let me put a shot into this boy's ribs and be able to make a play on this ball.
Cole Bishop gave me that. Taylor Rapp, I don't know about that, brother, man. Listen, everybody's talking. I know it's early, and we're about to start to kind of find our identity when everybody gets back healthy. So I don't want to poo-poo too much on the defense because the defense wasn't really the issue.
Right.
To me, I feel like it was the offense, and this is how we're going to transition on the offensive side of the football. Are you with me? I don't know how long. I got to respect your time.
I'm at work, so I got nothing but time.
You got nothing but time. All right, here we go. Before we do get into that, I do got to get to a couple super chats, and I got my man Jeff King. Jay Money came through and says, "Hey, I honestly don't believe some of the wide receivers are not all bought in on everyone eats on the surface. It's clear they are not using any of the receivers to their fullest potential. Just something to think about." Let me tell you something, Jay Money. This is what my beef was about, and we're about to transition to the offensive side of the ball. Here's the deal. Let me go off a little bit.
Oh shit.
I'm not gonna go up, but you said something about the whiteboard, and I think this is perfect because I didn't know how to explain myself.
Right.
I feel like offensive coordinator Joe Brady's got these boys on a whiteboard. All right. I'm officially done with this. Everybody eats. I was on board, then I was off board. On the board, I was off board. I was on and off. I'm off of it because I'm getting to the point where because this everybody eats, I'll just do my thing, and if the ball comes to me, then so be it. But where's the hunger? I feel like we lack hunger. Like when you saw Stephon Diggs, he was hungry. Obviously, there was some motivation on top of that. I mean, my boy Mans was staring at the team. I mean, trying to get himself riped up and riled up. He was on the sideline where everybody's facing, you know what I'm saying, the national anthem. His back was turned, and he was just getting himself. We don't have that on the offensive side of the ball. Who's doing that? Nobody is. So they go out lackadaisical. You got a guy that doesn't make it to time on practice, so they suspend his ass and they take him off of series. Then you got nice guy Khalil Shakir going on the pod with the St. Brown boys, having a good time. Then you have Curtis Samuel that just came back. He don't know where he fits. You got Elijah Moore that thought he was doing something. They said, "Nah, you got to sit, bro." There's not a whole lot of like cohesion. It's just we're gonna try some things out and let Josh do what he does. Pick what you want. Dude, when we allowed Stephon Diggs to, you know what I mean, be the alpha, Josh understood the assignment. You know what I'm saying? I have a responsibility to get the ball to the guy that, you know what I mean, does great things. Granted, Josh didn't have Diggs last year. He got his MVP. So everybody feels like, yo, this worked. It's great. But when we need someone to step up for us, we don't have it. Everybody's doing whiteboard stuff. Who's going to step up and say, everybody eats, but I want a little bit more on my plate? I'm getting sick of it. So I'm done with this. Everybody eats. I think my guy, Joe Brady needs to scheme some guy. If Khalil Shakir needs to be the guy, then feature him as the guy. Listen, Jared Goff is always going to look for Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown's always going to be the guy he looks for because he's the guy. They got J-Mo on the squad. He's great, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is my guy. Who's the guy for Josh? Josh is sitting here going, "Oh, I'm rolling out again. I'm rolling out again. Who's going to step up?" I'm getting tired of it, man. Somebody step up. Whether it's got to be Kincaid, whether it's got to be Keon, whether it's got to be Khalil, one of y'all step up and stop doing the whiteboard nonsense. Be the player. Be the guy that says, "Josh, depend on me." Because once he sees it, he on you. Last year, Mac Hollins, you saw how comfortable Josh was. Yo, when I needed to play, who did he go to? Mac Hollins. Bro, who's going to be, I can't believe I'm about to say this, who's going to be the Mac Hollins for Josh Allen this year, man? Golly, it's making me sick. So this falls on my man Joe Brady. When coach said too cute, he right. Stop being too cute. What are you trying to get a job? You're going to get a job somewhere, bro. But you might get yourself out of a job trying to be too cute, man. And this goes to challenge the receiver room. One of you guys step up for my quarterback because I can't have him keep putting on the freaking cape every time. Like, he can't save you guys all the time, man. He can't save you. You can't be captain save everybody. He can't. So one of y'all got to step up. I felt like I'm going on a rant, but I think this is apropos. We're going into week 6 against the Atlanta Falcons. If we don't get our act together, yo, we're going to be cooked, man. These receivers are going to be sitting here. Like, Khalil Shakir is too good for him to be getting these 6 receptions and 60 yards. Come on, man. Feature this guy, man. Move him all over the place. I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm getting sick of this. Manja. Get out of here with that. Cut it out. It's old news. It's old. I'm done with it. I'm sick of it. Josh Allen's too damn good. and y'all need to freaking prop this guy up. You got now people on Twitter saying, go get Shaheed, and go get Chris Olave. Bro, the talent is on this squad. Just one of them has to step up. Josh Palmer's been paid $10 million. Being said, I went out and got him not because he's just an okay player, but he's a difference maker. Well, can we find out if he is or not? Stop making him run these weak-ass routes. Yo, you brought him here because it's a separator. There's a graph that's out there saying he's still one of the better separators in the game, but yet we don't target him. What's going on? And this is where Josh comes in. Josh, I need more from you, bro. It sounds crazy for me to say this game, and I admit I did this on purpose. This game, last game was an okay game for Josh. We're used to like extraordinary Josh. This was a good game, but to him, it was mid. If you asked Josh, hey, how'd you play? He would have said terrible. Right. It was mid. So fam, Josh needs to challenge that receiver room too. Which one of you suckers is going to step up? Please, one of you guys step up so I can do this, because watching Stephon Diggs cook us had me in my feelings. I was like, bro, not that I wanted him back. It was more like, bro, that was a dog. And he made the whole room better. Because if you saw the way I work and you saw my intensity, it makes everybody's intensity go up. Now, everybody's just happy to be here. I'm happy to get some. Hey, if I get 3 receptions, I'm cool. Now, there's a line, because we can be the Philadelphia Eagles, where you have a passive-aggressive A.J. Brown, you know what I'm saying, doing his, his shenanigans, some might say. Well, I'll gladly take an A.J. Brown. You know what I'm saying? Because that boy too nice for you to be messing around. Devontae Smith, he too nice to be messing around with. So I say all of this for either Shakir, Keon, Josh Palmer, one of you guys step up. Joe Brady, Josh Allen, one of you guys challenge these guys to step up. Enough is enough already, man. We got James Cook and Josh Allen. If James Cook's not running the football, which one of y'all gonna do something? And we saw a prime example. If you're locked down, if you got 2 lockdown corners and we can't run the football, what we got? What we got? Golly, man. Hey, I felt like a rant, but I needed to say that because it's been bugging me. It's been
Get it off your chest, big dog.
I had to say it with my chest, man. I didn't even get my thing up there to say I wanted to get that with. I might as well. I said it with my chest. You guys already know what time it is. So what say you when you're looking at this? And we were switching into the offensive side of the ball. When you're looking at this offense and you see such potential, but we're not fulfilling the potential. There's too much money just sitting here doing BSing around. So when you look at this offense, you look at Josh, you look at Joe Brady, and you saw what the product was on the field last week, and you touched on it with having good corners. What are you assessing? This receiver room, more specifically, because I know I throw a lot at you. This receiver room, are they enough? I guess the best way I can put it. Are they enough?
Yes, but I don't think the bar, the threshold is like substantial. I think it is just enough. But like some things will have to break your way. When you have a quarterback that is good as I think Josh Allen is, and you have an offensive line that that I know is elite, you can and James Cook, excuse me, you can cut corners in other areas because you will always have a dominant running game and then a quarterback that can lift those around you. I think of that 2022 or 3 Chiefs Super Bowl where Juju Smith-Schuster led the way, and Sky Moore and Kadarius Toney. So it's not like and Mahomes had a good O-line that year. It wasn't like great. Now they did have Travis Kelce, but that was more Mahomes and a good O-line lifting that room. Brady did it for years, even without Gronk in the 2010s. We're like, hey, you give me Julian Edelman and a good O-line, I can make things shake. So I do think there's something to be said about they have enough, but I do think it's missing juice. And when you are playing up against teams that have those guys that can lock you down on the outside, that does hurt you a little bit. The Joe Brady comment, I think, is fascinating, and it is multi-layered, but stay with me here. I think he's a good offensive coordinator. I really do. And I think that his run game schemes, his ability to go back to the well when things are working, and his designery in terms of play action shots and orbit motions, I think are good. And I think that he is definitively a top half of the NFL offensive coordinator. Having said that, I do think there is something to be said, and the whiteboard comment is funny, about this idea of, hey, like the ball goes to the open guy. I think that sounds good on a whiteboard, But when you get to gotta have it situations, and when you get to situations where the other team's defensive coordinator is good and the other team has good players as well, it's not as easy as, hey, Josh, hit your back foot. First guy's not open. Second guy, I promise you the third guy will be. It works more often than not, and 90% of the time, because Josh Allen is their quarterback and he can be clean in the pocket because the guy's up front, so he can extend and make plays. But there is something to be said about, like, hey, can you just feature one guy to get that money? And I don't know if they have that guy on the roster at the moment, but they had that guy on the roster in 2023. And for those who have amnesia here for a second, the first half of 2023, Stephon Diggs looked great. And the offense wasn't great. And obviously, that's why Ken Dorsey, unfortunately, was let go. Joe Brady took over, but then Stephon Diggs' stats plummeted. And then the whole discourse, came to, is Stephon Diggs cooked? Did he just fall off overnight? I don't think Stephon Diggs is where he was in 2020, but that is still a good receiver. So I think there's some yin and yang to the Joe Brady is clearly a good offensive coordinator. Clearly, there is no ifs, ands, and buts about that. But I do think there is some validity to, hey, I know you want to do this equal opportunity thing and give everyone some nibbles at the pie, but there are certain matchups and certain weeks where you need to pepper the hell out of the assignment in front of you. And I know the Bills usually won't have that on the perimeter, but this week, I think Dalton Kincaid should have got a lot more targets than what he did. I think he ended up with 6. He should have ended up with 10 or 12. Like, the Patriots definitively, for how good they were on the outside, I don't think their safeties and backers could hold his jockstrap, to be quite frank with you. So, once again, I'm not going to sit up here and just say that he's a bad OC. I think he's definitively good, closer to top 10 if he's not. But yes, you do have a right to feel away about, like, dang, like, Kincaid's getting guarded by pick a safety, and I feel like he need to be getting the ball just peppered, you know?
But I think what gets to me is it's not just Brady. And people refuse to utter the name Josh Allen and criticize. They just won't do it. They just can't. Why not? He criticizes himself harder than we would ever criticize him. And in this game, it's not like I'm saying he was terrible. He's not. This guy is the best quarterback in the game. But there comes a time where Josh has to be, you're paid $300 million. You got to say, hey, Brady, this whiteboard business is great. But, like, F the whiteboard. Now I need to connect with one of you. Which one of you suckers is going to really step up and be my guy? Like, who? One of you guys got to do it. There was no question. Him and Diggs, when Diggs got here, they were like this. They were just hanging out and doing stuff and doing all that stuff. I don't know, because my man got married now, so he's going to be a family man. So I don't know. But I need to lock in, Josh. I need to lock in and challenge one of your guys. It's not a Josh issue. It's a challenge one of your guys. Find out who is going to take that level above everyone else and now lock in, because then it forces everybody else to raise their level of play. But if everybody's on the same level of field and if it's my turn, it's my turn. If it's your turn, it's your turn. Bro, no, this is the NFL. This is where elite guys have to step up, because I'll tell you right now, we make it to the playoffs and we don't figure out who the alpha male is and the alpha receiver is in this situation. When you go up against the Colts with Indiana Jones, don't forget who's the defensive coordinator over there that Josh Allen does not do well against. That's Sweet Lou Amoralo, or whatever his name was. I can't really pronounce his name. I don't know if you know it, because
Lou Anarumo.
Bro, Josh Allen has not played well against that guy. That guy knows Josh Allen's number. Oh, by the way, Sweet Lou's in Indiana right now. The Indiana Colts are 4-1.
Yeah.
Quit BSing around and figure out where the alpha receiver is. Hey, Khalil, you just got a big time contract. Can I see something from you? Step up. You're the slot guy, man. There's no reason you can't be an Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Bills. You may not be at the level of Amon-Ra St. Brown, but there's no reason you can't. You have all the intangibles to do it. You've got the speed. You've got the route running ability. You have the freaking contact bounce. Why are we not featuring you? If you saw Kincaid was eating the middle of that defense. Go to him. Keep going to him. Why would you stop? This is where McDermott said you got cute. Oh, let me do a freaking flea flicker. What? Man, run the damn football, man. Golly, that should drive me nuts. And I love this team, but you gotta call it for what it is. You gotta call it for what it is. Richie, yes, I'm on one tonight, man. Because I'm watching these Bills and I'm watching Stephon Diggs, and I'm like, bro, Stephon Diggs is 31. This is probably going to be his best performance of the year, and he's probably going to fall off the rest of the way.
Yeah, I don't think he get 146 the rest of the year, respectfully.
Bro, I don't think he ever had 146 with us. Like this was ridiculous, man. Hit that buzzer, yeah. I'm just saying, there comes a point where Josh has to challenge his boys. It's not just like, you got the C on your chest. The C is on your chest just to show the lead that you're captain. No, you need to now pull the best out of these guys. Which one of you guys is going to come with me? Because I'll tell you right now, Josh Allen had to match the energy of Stephon Diggs, and those two would just had it. So who's going to match the freaking energy of Josh Allen? Josh Allen's the only alpha guy on the squad other than Deion Dawkins. He's the only alpha dude on the squad. So one of you guys step it up. Because if James Cook isn't able to, get going, this got to be somebody else, man. I'm just getting tired of it, man. So that's what's been frustrating for me. And I'm glad that you I wouldn't say you validated my thoughts.
No, I think there's a lot of validity to what you said for sure.
Yeah, because I'm looking at Joe Brady and I like Joe Brady. I like him. I like Joe Brady. But yo, quit the. I'm trying to.
But you know what though, and I don't want to throw him bail here, but I'll say this: once they remove Diggs from the equation, and I think the Diggs stuff, there's going to be a book written on it on how that broke up happened, and for a bunch of different reasons. I don't think he was all pro Diggs anymore. Yada yada yada. But once they pivoted and he was given the cast, I was going to say cast of characters. Whoa, disrespectful. The cast of weapons that he was given last season, I think an everybody eats approach was okay because of the fact that, respectfully, I don't know who did you want in that group to be the hierarchy or to lead that room. And to a certain extent, you could probably feel the same way this year, but I think there's something to be said about maybe forcing some of those guys into roles and seeing if they can make things shake. I do want to make this clear, though. The Bills are an elite offense, but I don't know if their receiver talent is great by any means. And I think when you look at, if I were to go through like some of the best passing offenses in football, like I wouldn't take the Bills guys on the outside over any of the top 10 passers. Like the closest one is you can maybe say the Seahawks because Jackson Smith and Jigba is that good that I would just take him and I don't care about 2 through 4 from them. So like I do think there's something to be said about that where like the talent still is also not. It's the whole argument why people kept talking about how deep the wide receiver room is. Like, bro, I really don't care about how deep.
What's Jeff King say there? I can't read that. Can you see that?
Yeah, I don't know if I need to be saying that out loud, but yeah, Jeff, you wildin', my boy. I don't know what Auburn is either. But you wildin', my boy.
My man Jeff King says, yo, I'd rather kiss my ex's ass in public in downtown Auburn, New York than lose to the freaking Pats. I hate it, bro. I'm with you. I tried to get my man Carl to read that, but he's like, nah, I ain't falling for that one. Yeah, you almost got me. I ain't falling for that one. I ain't falling for that one. Let me, before we get into because I do want to talk about another part that's been bugging me. I might, because I got some super chats to get to, but I promise you guys I will get to the super chats. But I'm not letting this offense off the hook because I have one more gripe about this. And if you guys are with me, if I've been over the top, if you feel like y'all you over the top and you tripping, I'll bite that. But if you with me, smash that like, let me know. And we'll keep it rolling. Josh Allen and I noticed this about Josh. Josh has all the trust in the world in that offensive line. But the minute, you know what I'm saying, we got some big dogs that push that interior pocket consistently a couple times to begin the game, the trust that he once had goes out the window halfway. So he trusts him, but he doesn't. So it makes him jittery. And when you got jittery Josh leaves the pocket way too soon, and then jittery Josh turns into sugar high Josh, and now he's backyard footballing. Bro, we can't have that. We can't have that backyard footballing. We got rid of that Josh a long time ago, brother. Don't go back to that. So Connor McGovern, Edwards, my man Osiris Torrance, listen, they didn't have their best game. Now they were going up against some dogs. Harold Landry ain't no slouch. Milton Williams, he's there for a reason. That boy, he's a big boy. And who was the other big boy that was Barron? Not Barron.
Christian
Is it Barmore? Am I getting it right? What's that? Barmore. Excuse me, Barmore. These boys were pushing that pocket, which made Josh uncomfortable. Josh had multiple occasions to just stay in that pocket a little longer, just to make those throws. I'll tell you right now, Trevor Lawrence yesterday made a hell of a throw at the end of the game to BJT right on the sideline in that honey hole shot. I was amazed with that throw, but he had to stay in that pocket to get hit in the mouth to make that throw. I'm not saying Josh hasn't and can't, but the O-line did not make him comfortable right from the jump. So he was feeling uncomfortable. Bro, O-line, sometimes it's going to happen that way. Hold your wad a little bit. But Josh, hold your wad a little bit too. Just because they, pushing the pocket a little bit, you don't got to leak out because everybody knows you love leaking out to the right. Make it hard for them at least. Golly, man. But the offense as a whole, let's chalk it up to just not their greatest performance against the Pats. Call it what you want if it's a division game. It's the coming of Drake May or Vrabel coming to the division as well. And Vrabel knows McDermott very well. He knows them all. So there's a matchup issue when it comes to that. Will we see that type of performance again from the Bills? Probably not until they face these guys again, but I doubt it's going to go like that. Or when they face guys that have a corner that can lock down your number one, which we don't even have. And then you have a pass rush that can get to Josh. Josh does not like those two things. Good corners and a pass rush in the middle, bro, he's fried after that. He's all jittery Josh. Bro, put JJ away. You know what I'm saying? We want, superhero Josh that can calm and cool down the middle, but it ain't always going to be like that. But that O-line, bro, I'm on your ass, man. That O-line, the interior did not have a good day. And you could tell because if you looked at the PFF grades told you everything you need to know. So that was my gripe with the offensive side of the ball. Had to get that off my chest a little bit. But here we go. So last but not least, I want to get into it. We always do it. And I need your thoughts. A lot of it we shared, but I didn't get your opinion yet. And we got the segment, the good, the bad, the ugly. All right, we're going to get to it. So just give me two things that maybe nobody's talking about that you found good. Maybe it's a player. Maybe it was an instance in this game. Maybe it was a scheme that you saw, a play, something that you found that was good in this game. Good/great. What are your thoughts? In the chat, let me know. #good. And we'll go with that. While you think about it, my man Carl Jones, because I'm putting you on the spot, so it's tough. I got some super chats to get to, so I'm going to get to some super chats and then get right to it. Let me start off with, I got my man Jay Money, and let me slide on down to my guy Jeff King. Jeff King comes in and says, hey, in regards to the aggression coach, in quotation, he goes, I grab the dog, I choke him, and I put my foot up his ass. Bang, bang, bang. That's my pleasure, John Witherspoon. Oh, bang, bang. I know what you're talking about. Bang, bang. Some of these young cats don't know who John Witherspoon is. You know who John Witherspoon is?
Of course I know who
my man,
Mr.
my
Witherspoon
man.
is.
Bang, 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 bang. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Shout out to my guy, Jeff King. Jay Money says, because cats are running lackluster routes and not getting separation, as if I may or may not get the ball, low production means no value as a player on the market. Do you understand what he's saying right there?
Yeah.
Jay Money, he's referring to the receiver room, and he's saying that they're running lackluster routes because cats are running lackluster routes and not getting separation. They're not getting separation. See, that's false. That's actually false. Kincaid gets mad separation, and so does Josh Palmer. Those are the two guys that have gained great separation, and there's a chart that's out there right now indicating that very thing. So it's not that. It's just a matter of just cohesion. We're just not in sync as an offense just yet. We played poor teams. The Ravens, the first game, you can't call them poor because everybody was healthy is what it is, but maybe they were poor. The Ravens are on the brink of not making the playoffs. We played the Jets. The Jets are winless. We played the Miami Dolphins. The Miami Dolphins are a train wreck, right? Internally, they're a train wreck. They got good talent, but they're a train wreck. We played the freaking the Saints. They gave us a match. We still hung 31 points on them, but they still made it a game. And then lastly, we played these boys and a team that's above 500. And guess what happened? They beat us. So is it a matter of lackluster route running or whatever it is? It's just we just got to be on the same page. We're just not on the same page, and we played a team that punched us in the mouth, and we didn't know how to recover quite well. And the crazy thing is, although they punched us in the mouth, we only lost by 3. Mm-hmm. So there's so much to be said about that. So Jay Money, I appreciate that comment. Jay Money comes back and says, yo, bro, Diggs rubbed his ish in the face mask, and then then punked Josh with a side-eye look. Not a good look at it at all, and it sucked. He explained the side-eye, and I saw the explanation that, to me, it made a lot of sense. It was wild that they used it. You know what I mean? Him looking at the guy like this in the corner, but it is what it is, man. That's my guy. That used to be my quarterback. I can't believe I'm in Houston. I should be in that uniform. Blame Joe. I bet you he blames Joe Brady for a lot of this. I'm sure he does. He's got to say, yo, it ain't you guys. It's that guy. The guy that with the chain, that guy that's in the booth that he wants nothing to do with. He wants everybody to eat. But guess what? I'm not an everybody eats type of guy. I need the fair share of my plate. And Josh Allen had no problems with it until they say, hey, Josh, you want to stop throwing picks? I'll help you get your MVP. I'll help you get your Pro Bowl. I'll get you your All Pro. Follow my lead, and I promise you I'll get you. And it worked. The formula worked. And I guess my man said, yo, I see what's happening here. I want out. Respectfully. It wasn't respectful because it was a nasty one. But anyway. Yeah. It is what it is. All right, let me get you on the good, the bad, the ugly. Talk to me.
Yeah, I got two for you.
Give me two.
The first one, the pass rush plan in the first half, I thought was really good. So basically, the Bills did a phenomenal job of keeping Drake May contained in the pocket, because for how well I think Drake May played, he still was like jittery and like left the pocket like a lot. Like even when he had a clean pocket, he just will leave. He's a second-year player. I don't even know how old he is, but he clearly can't rent a car at this point. He's not 25. I know that. So like he is going to he's not perfect. So I thought they did a good job of making sure that the pass rush integrity was great. And when he did leave the pocket in the first half, I'm speaking of, they did a good job of green dogging and making sure that the linebacker get after him, and so he couldn't escape the pocket. So I thought that was great. And Josh McDaniels had an answer to that. So kudos to him. I think the other good, and I think this is a larger conversation that makes it, this is interesting, and I haven't had it on your platform, so I'm just going to say it now, is Dalton Kincaid.
Let's go.
Yeah, Dalton Kincaid. I thought he had a fabulous game, 6 catches, I think 108 yards. Fabulous. The conundrum that is Dalton Kincaid is fascinating on so many fronts, because the Bills had this idea of making him some quasi tight end slot receiver, 11.5 personnel. We want him to be Cole Beasley. The problem with that player playing tight end is that on a whiteboard, he's playing a slot receiver. And in doing so, you're essentially telling him, I want you to be a receiver. But Dalton Kincaid, for how good I think he is not a receiver. He's not. Like he's a good receiver for a tight end, and he can't block at the point of attack as a tight end can. Why am I mentioning this? He still plays less than Dawson Knox. He still plays around the same amount of snaps as Jackson Hawes, because he can't block at the point of attack. Now, what Joe Brady has done this year is a fabulous job, is get him on the perimeter more often. So you see some of those blocks, and a lot of people are saying he's a good blocker this year. Yeah, because they aren't asking him to play tight end. Yeah, Drake's turning 23. That's crazy as hell. Like, I'm over here talking with a suit and tie, and he over here killing the Bills on national TV. But so that's where the Dalton Kincaid thing is. And I know I just said they need to feature him more often, but I wonder how you do that with a player who is limited. Like, you couldn't ask him to block like Sam Laporta. You couldn't ask him to block like Tucker Kraft or George Kittle or name any good tight end. So you either A, need another tight end out there with him, or B, when he is out there, you either always run away from him or you're always passing. So it is a interesting conundrum that is Dalton Kincaid. I don't know. I think Joe Brady has done a fabulous job of not asking him really to play tight end this year. He's just literally like, hey, bro, don't block none of them big people. You can't do that. Go block little dudes. And I think that's where it's been a good job of Joe Brady. I digress. I still think he had a good game, but I know people are asking, why doesn't he play more? Because he don't really play tight end no more. Like, y'all see him on the perimeter more than y'all see him block. You haven't seen him block a DN this year. You haven't.
Not a whole lot. And if it is, it's because there's been audible and I got to, bring everybody in, and that's when. But yeah, not a whole lot.
But that's not Joe Brady's fault though. Joe Brady is catering to his personnel, and I don't want to. This is the good. I just wanted to add some context to the Dalton Kincaid discussion, because I know a lot of people are like, "Why doesn't he play more often?" That's the whiteboard thing, and yada yada yada. I digress.
I'm gonna use that whiteboard a lot more often now. That just makes the whiteboard means just it's cookie cutter. You know what I mean? There's no complexity to that. It's just whiteboard. Just do this and do that and call it a day. Bro, we ain't Pop Warner, man. This is NFL. Things are a little more complex than that. I get sick of it. But anyway, for me, the good, I'm gonna go to the defensive front. for as much as the defensive front was getting poo-pooed on for the beginning of the year, obviously giving up 238 yards, and the linebacking crew, I'll give that to the front seven. We had 4 sacks. We had multiple pressures. Like we got after Drake May. We made the defense altogether, as bad as people want to poo-poo on the defense. And this is me. I got to come back and say, hey, I was wrong. I was saying, where the heck is Greg Rousseau? Greg Rousseau was solid. Now, I need a little bit more from Greg Rousseau, where I need him to be a closer, right? With the type of money he's getting paid, $20 million a year. I need you to be a closer, my G. I need you to be closer to a closer. If you're not a big-time closer, that's cool. But for the most part, the defense was good, man. They kept the team to 23 points. They gave the ball back to the offense. And listen, push comes to shove, we just didn't get the job done altogether. The 3 turnovers, obviously, they hurt. Obviously, you can see that. But for the most part, I think that defensive front did a decent job, man. I like what I'm seeing from them. And kudos to the front. They did well. And you gotta give them credit for that. Next thing I'm gonna say is loved what I saw from Prater is doing it, man. 41 years of age. This boy is hitting key field goals. He's keeping us. I mean, if we get in range and he's there for it, other than that one miss that he had, he's been pretty damn bang on. So big shout out to Big Prater. He's giving all the time in the world to T-Bass to get healthy and do what he needs to do. But for the most part, I'm liking what I see from T-Bass. No question about it. My man Signify Nose comes in and says, yo, Rico, it's Greg Rousseau's fault he signed a contract he didn't deserve. Or is it me? Or is it the moron GM's fault for giving the guy whose career high is 8.5 sacks, has 25 million? Hey, he's never going to turn down 25 million, man. And he's not going to turn it down. And you know how it is, man. I'll always remember it. We had a lineman from the New England Patriots. Mark Anderson was his name. I'll never forget it because he had one good year with the Patriots, and then we signed him for a multi-year deal, and he was buns when he came to the Bills, right? This is a long time ago, brother. So Mark Anderson was buns, man, but he had a great year with the Saints. I think at the Pats, he had 11 sacks, and we went ahead and signed him. So was it Greg Rousseau and doing, contract year? I got to make sure I do well and get paid, but like he played well. I don't want to take it away from him. He actually played well. I thought he was buns until I watched the game again. I was like, no. He was actually nice. He played well, man. So the defensive line, I like what they did. Matt Prater, I like what they did. Other than that, that's it for me for good. Let me switch it over. You got the good, you got the bad. What you got for bad, brother?
The pass rush and coverage marriage in the second half. I thought that
good call.
For the credit that I wanted to give the D-line in the first half and even the front seven, just how they would attack Drake May. They didn't do a good job of keeping him in the pocket. And when he did escape from the pocket, he was able to get to that right hand and make some fabulous throws. Yes, some of those plays were tip your cap. Buddy is one of them. I mean, that Daquan Jones play. When they watched that in film Monday morning, they probably looked back at DQ and said, "Yeah, I don't know, yeah."
For
next
real,
play. Next play.
My man had right in the collar. I was like, "Yo, bring his ass down, boy."
Yeah. So like, you know what? You just tip your cap. You next time you see 10, you say you got my ass. So I would say that's probably that probably is the full encompassing for me of the bad of just no, actually, I'll tell you another one is the turnovers. I mean, you just can't have it. And I know that the turnover luck goes ebbs and flows, and fumbles are his own weird entity. I know Bills fans don't want to hear it, but fumble luck is real. Like it's an egg-shaped ball. Like the ball is going to bounce however it may please. Yep. And the ball bounced the other ways this week. But yeah, I mean, you just can't turn the ball over and expect 3 times and expect to win in the National Football League.
I'm gonna go with with the bad. I'm gonna go with the turnovers as well. I mean, the turnovers. It wasn't just the turnovers. It was where the turnovers were and how they were committed. Right? You got a receiver that was benched for the first series. The first series he does come in, first reception, doesn't secure the football. Give me that. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going up against a team that is hungry. They're not trying to go below 500. They're there in your trap. They're about to whoop your tail. Secure the football. That's your my man's in the words of my man Marshawn Lynch. That's your chicken, man.
Yeah.
You know, protect that chicken. That's your baby right there. You out here. You know what I'm saying? Being what's his name from the program, the running back that could never have the Butterfingers. I forgot his name, man. You hold on to that thing, bro. Like you can't have that. So we turn the ball over, right? It's those two crucial turnovers. And Josh's interception, fam, there was nothing there. There's really nothing there. Like, that was one of those things where just use your legs, take off, and hope for the best. And you tried to squeeze that one in. And I didn't like it. So those two turnovers for me were bad. I wouldn't call it ugly, but they were bad. I didn't like that. I think those 3 turnovers altogether, uncharacteristic. I mean, listen, we had one turnover the game before that, and then 3 this game. You can't have that. That's number 1. Number 2, the penalties. Yeah. Bro, 11 penalties for 90 yards. The game before that, 11 penalties for 50. Bro, that's 145 yards of penalty yards. 22 penalties in 2 games. Where's the discipline? The discipline isn't good. It's not there. We need to be better. We haven't been, and we need to clean that up. Can't turn the ball over. Can't have those penalties. Drive-killing penalties. That's buns. Can't do that. So that's my bad. And let's go back to, I mean, this might be tough for you, bro. I don't know if you have it. Ugly.
No, I mean, for me, if you think the penalties were bad, I think they hideous. You can't have 11 accepted penalties. You can't.
I like it.
It's just, and it's how they happened that made it worse. The one that sticks out the most, and I'm sure every content creator has spoke on it, but the Khalil Shakir offensive pass interference that would have been a 3rd and 1 on the goal line if they didn't call that. It turns into 2nd and 13. The very next play, Josh Allen throws an interception. Facts. The penalties compounded, and it made bad go to worse, and you just can't have that and expect to win against a Patriots team who did have some mind-numbing penalties. I mean, that 4th quarter where they hit Josh in the face. James Cook, I know they didn't blow the whistle, but like, bro, have some common sense. James Cook is on the ground. Like, bro, why are we hitting him? Like, I know I was there. They didn't blow the whistle. Buddy, he's literally on the ground on a knee. Like, what you think? Like,
what you want?
Like, bro, come on. I understand play through the whistle, but let's have some common sense. So the Patriots did some boneheaded things as well, but
facts. I mean, listen, those boneheaded things gave us 30 yards. And,
they did.
And you know what? That's what kind of kept us in the game. So that could have been one of those blowout games, but they kept it close by keeping us in the game. So I appreciate that. That is for sure. Anything else that stood out for you, ugly?
No, that was it was so hideous. It deserves its own ugly. There's nothing else to be ugly with it.
No doubt. I'll say this. What Stephon Diggs did to our secondary was ugly. It was nasty. It was ugly. It was paper bag. You know what I'm saying? Cut the hole out. It was paper bag. It was awful to see. Not only because he's doing it, and that's the pettiness in me. It's the fact that he's doing it in a Patriots jersey. He's doing it at home in Buffalo, and he's doing it to our secondary that nobody else did anything. It was just him. And it's like he knew. Trey White? Boy, please. I know exactly how he plays. Oh, you mean Christian Benford? I know all about Christian Benford. Yo, let me do this. Oh, Taron Johnson, bro. I know them all. I practice against them all. So to me, it was just nasty to see him just work like that, and then just all those things he was doing to us. I was like, bro, it was almost like bittersweet because I always wanted him to come back because I don't think he was ever washed. Just the same way I don't think Amari Cooper's washed. I think Amari was like, yo, I'm not playing with the Raiders. These guys are bums. I ain't doing it, right? So he's like, I'm out. I thought I could when I saw what was happening. No, I ain't doing it. With Stephon Diggs, you know what I mean? With Stephon Diggs, I know he still got it. It was sucks that he tore his knee, you know what I'm saying, in Texas, and now he has to play for the Patriots. I hate that he's at the Patriots, but it seems like he's doing it. And when I saw that brother in the change room, just bow, 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 yo, he was feeling real good. And it just got me nasty with it because he's doing it in a Patriots jersey. Can't stand it. To me, that was what's ugly. He did us dirty. Now, this is one of my favorite segments. This is a segment that everybody loves. I know you remember it, and I'm gonna put it right up here for you. Hey, so because I need you to slide on over just a little bit, just so you can be in the screen, just a little bit. So, okay, yo, can you slide on over a little bit when your chair?
Wait.
Or move your camera. Yeah, because I need you. Because I'm gonna. There you go.
Hold on.
I got you. Now you guys already know. I let him fix his camera. I feel bad because I made him fix his camera and move his camera. But you guys already know what time it is. This is while you fix your camera. I'll bring you back on when you're ready. This is the segment that I appreciate the most. It's the milk carton. I think you guys all know about the milk carton and what the milk carton means. And if you guys are new to this, I'll let you know what the milk carton is. The milk carton belongs to someone that they disappeared. They went missing. It may not be necessarily a player that's gone missing, but it could be something that went missing in the game altogether. So I'm going to give the floor to my guy, Mr. Carl Jones.
Am I still frozen?
Yeah, you're still frozen.
Bro, what the?
Yeah, that's my fault. I made you move the camera. You were perfect the whole time, and I made you move the camera. That's my fault, brother. My fault. I'll see when your camera comes back on, and I'll bring you back on. So he's gonna come back, and I'll bring him back on in just a moment. So here we are, the milk carton alert. I thought I had someone prepared to be on this milk carton from Sunday. I was like, no, this person is on my milk carton. I can't do it. When I watched the game again, I figured some things out. Now you're good. You're good now.
All right, cool.
I figured some things out, and I figured, you know what? I know who I was going to put. Now I had to switch it up. So before I go, I'm going to give the floor to my guy, Carl Jones. Carl, I know I'm putting you on the spot. It doesn't necessarily have to be a player, but if you do know a player that you want to put on that milk carton and say, hey, this person's been missing and we need him back, the floor is yours. I'm going to remove my.
Yeah, I think it would probably be Keon Coleman. I think that he's a player that the Bills are counting on. You don't take a player like that in the second round and be like, oh, we just want him to be a guy. You want him to be the guy. And I think that's something that you saw in week one. You saw flashes of it. You saw the athleticism, the above the rim potential, and the over the middle of the field capabilities where you're like, yeah, the Bills could use that. But you want to see more consistency. And Sean McDermott alluded to that, probably both on and as well as off the field. So I don't mean it in like, oh my gosh, like this is a bad player by any means, but he is a player that if this Bills offense, which is still elite, let's not get anything twisted here, y'all. This is a top 2-3 offense at minimum. But if they want to reach his fullest potential, they are going to need him to not just fit in. He needs to stand out as well.
I love it. You know what? That's a real good one. Keon Coleman, he definitely crossed there was a list of people that I had going for this you know what I mean, milk carton segment. And I'm glad you took Keon, because I feel you're absolutely right. Like, you were the first pick that we made. We bypassed a guy that I think would have been great in this offense in Adonai Mitchell. I thought he would have been good in this offense. We bypassed Xavier Worthy. That's doing worthy things in Kansas City. And we said, no, that's Keon Coleman. And I got to say this thing, though. Let's not forget. They asked Josh, who do you want, Josh? Josh is the one that said, that guy. Keon Coleman's the guy I want. Well, you wanted him. Make it work. Figure it out between the two of you guys. And if he's not showing maturity, pull him by the collar, be Gannon, and punch him in the chest or do something. Get him on your page. If you have to yell at him and do what you need to do, so be it. Some dudes respect it. Maybe he needs someone to check him like that. That's on Josh. Josh has got to figure that part out. I'm so glad you put Keon Coleman there. All right. For me, I could have went so many different directions here, but I'm gonna give this a collective. I was gonna give it to the secondary group, but I'm not. I'm gonna put it on Christian Benford. I need the guy that they paid all that money to. Was it $76 million? I need that guy to show me why they paid him $76 million. Because as of right now, I've not seen it. I got turned off completely this year. And he's one of my favorite players on this team. I got turned off completely when he got beat with that one-head catch from D-Hop on the back end of the end zone. And when they were, hey man, about that D-Hop play, this and that, bet you won't do it again. I bet you can't do that. I said, what? I've never heard a DB say something like that. I bet you can't do it again. It's like playing Madden. When somebody runs a play, yo, run that play again. I bet you can't do it again. You flip the play and do it on the other side, and it still works. Bro, you can't do that. What you do is you got to answer back with the next game. And there wasn't so much about answering back on the next game. And I get it. There were some great plays that he made, game-saving tackles or series-saving tackles, all those good things. But I need you to be the man. They paid you like that. I need you to be the man. And I haven't seen it yet. So my man, Christian Benford, I got love for Christian Benford. But yo, I need the guy that we paid. I need the guy that was, you know what I'm saying, on the brink of being a Pro Bowler last year. I don't see Pro Bowl Benford at all. Where he at? That's the guy I'm waiting for. So, Mr. Benford, I'm waiting on you, man. We waiting on you. Trey White, poor Trey White with his bad knees and his Achilles is screaming. He needs you. Cole Bishop, the young safety, he waiting for you because you do your thing. He can do his thing. They're waiting on you. You got to be the tone setter in that secondary. And right now, I don't know who to look for. Is it 47? Is he going to step up today? Or is it 27? Out. Am I waiting for number 31 that's green and wet behind the ears? Harrison's not ready for that yet. He's still recovering. Yo, I need my man to step up, man. And some folks might say, yo, you tripping? No, I'm not tripping because we're about to go and play some decent receivers down the stretch. The teams may not be great, but we're going to play some good receivers, and they got some good old lines. Atlanta, you got Bijan Robinson you got to deal with, and you got Drake London you got to deal with. And then you got Kyle Pitts. And with this influx of guys moving in and out of the linebacker position, I don't know what's going to take place. Fam, we need to wake up and step up. That's all I'm going to say. So Milk Carton, my guy, and I hate to say it. I feel like I'm Nino Brown. I hate to say it, brother. It's you. It's you, Christian Bedford. I need you to get off this milk carton. I need you to show me why you making all that money. Because right now, I mean, you opened your wallet and Brandon Bean is just saying, shoot, I'm not getting my return on investment. And you're like, and you're doing one of these to him. You're doing one of these to him. I can't have that. Can't have that. Anyway, that's my milk carton of the night. Anyway, folks, that's our segment. Listen, Carl Jones, I appreciate you, my G. I feel like we haven't done this in a long time. I'm so glad that you called me out and said, hey, man, what's up? I'm so glad you did it. I'm so glad you did it. I'm glad you're back. And I know the folks are back. Dude, please do me a favor, folks. You see that name on the bottom, Carl Jones at Jones11_. Go ahead and follow my man's. He's at just shy of 5,000. Get this brother up to 5,000. Get him to 5,000 followers. I don't know why he's at. You should be at 15, 20 by now, bro. So we need to get my brother up to 5K. Go ahead and follow him on X and do what it do. By the way, anything that we should know that be coming up for my man Jones? What's happening? What's on the pipeline? What's going on? Talk to us.
Yeah, for sure. So I got a podcast called the Mafia Huddle. Got some good stuff going on.
When did this start?
Started week 1. You ain't see. I ain't seen since then. You know, I
love it. Yeah. I love it. All right. Is it solo?
It's solo. I bring people on. I got Josh Reed, my director here, who comes on from time to time. So basically, the first 3 quarters of the show, we're just breaking down what we saw, pushing things forward, having fun, nice segments. Like tomorrow, we're going to do a report card. It's the quarter of the year, first month. We're going to do a report card. And then the back half is for all you degenerates out there who like to gamble a little bit. So that's in the show as well. So that'll be that portion of it. It comes out every Thursday night. You can find that on all your streaming platforms. That is, what is that? Apple, Spotify, yada, yada, yada. Absolutely. Also, if you have a Samsung TV or any type of TV where you can download apps, you can get it right there on the WIVB Plus app. It's called the Mafia Huddle, though. So make sure y'all holler at me on that. Then I also started doing some big stuff on TikTok. I got game breakdowns. I got whiteboard stuff. For those who, you know, I hear them talking about man coverage all the time. What is man? I'll talk it through to you. Laura, don't be a degenerate. That's nothing to be proud of. I'm a degenerate. I'll own that. Not you, sweetheart. Don't do that. But yeah, so stuff of that nature, whiteboard stuff, breakdowns. There's always, once again, going to be usually from a DB perspective because that's what I know best. But from time to time, I think I can figure out what the offense is trying to do. So that's most of the stuff. And then for those who are in Western New York, of course, Buffalo kickoff. Whoa, Bills kickoff live. We now got the Bills logo with us. Bills kickoff live every single Sunday at 11 a.m.
All right, we gotta listen. I'm proud. I'm a proud brother. I'm watching this. I love it. This makes me happy. And shame on me for not getting on that. So Mafia Huddle. Huddle is a podcast. And how often you doing your podcast? How often you guys?
Every single Thursday night. It airs at 8:30 Thursday nights, but it's on demand. So like, don't worry. Like if you can't watch it live, if you're watching it on the app, because it's a video thing, but you can find it on Apple, Spotify.
Mafia Huddle. And you stream it on YouTube as well? All that good stuff?
So it can't be YouTube for reasons that I wish is stupid. I know. I know.
All good.
Listen.
All good. Mafia Huddle. We're gonna look for it. So Mafia Huddle, you got a lot, and you on TikTok. Yo, how do you feel like that? You loving that TikTok? Is it?
Yeah, because it's quick. It's quick, and I think for someone that's young, I know what the kids doing these days. I can relate to the youngins, and also, not be too weird that like people double my age don't think I'm a weirdo.
Bro, I've been told I went to go visit when I went to I'm disappointed in myself. I was in Buffalo and I didn't even reach out to you. Golly,
yeah.
when I got back on my plane, I was like, what? I didn't reach out to Carl Joe.
I live in Buffalo now. I'm not in Rochester no more. I'm in Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I was at the game. You were probably at the game. So on that Thursday Miami game, I was sick to my stomach. Anyway, and I had all people, what are you not doing TikTok for? Get on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is for these young kids, like my kids are doing that stuff. And like, nah, if you got to get over that, because you could just in and out, do quick things, and these things, they do numbers. I was like, shoot, you might see your boy on TikTok soon. I don't know. We'll see how that plays out, man. But listen,
for sure.
You are my guy. I appreciate you. And listen, we can't let this thing happen for so often that I'm sitting here slacking. That's me slacking. I can't slack at that. So, ladies and gentlemen, my man Carl Jones came through, gave us some great insight. Appreciate you, my G. And listen, Mafia Huddle. Go ahead and download that podcast whenever it comes out. Go ahead and show some love, and show my guy some love on TikTok, and show my guy some love over here on the X profile and website. What you got?
Last thing for all my Syracuse fans, we're gonna get things back on track. We struggling. We're gonna get things back on track. But of course, y'all know I'm from the great state of Ohio. So OHIO. Love y'all. See y'all next week.
Hold on. Ohio. I want to get his thoughts on Egbuka, because Egbuka, that boy is nice. By the way, Richie Fresh says, wouldn't solve everything, but put Gabe Davis in. I'm not ready for that just yet. I'm not ready for Gabe Davis. I'm not ready for that. And if we do put Gabe Davis in, something catastrophic has gone down. That means we have not. I would be disappointed if they said, nah, we good on Shavers, and we gonna put, bro. He needs to be a call up, and because we're in bad shape. If we're calling him up soon, that means we're in bad shape. I don't think we're there just yet. So Gabe Davis, that could put him on ice for now. I'm not ready for him to come out. By the way, shout out to my guy BP. BP says, tired of getting out coached, rinse and repeat. We certainly did get out coached. Outplayed, out hustled, we just were not the better team. It's that simple. It's that simple. We were not the better team. We did not play well enough to win. And here's the crazy part. We only lost by 3. It was a field goal. And it took a rookie to hit a 53-yard field goal. If he misses that field goal, there's a good chance the Bills get the ball back and we march up the field and we win that game. It was that close. I'm disappointed because we could be so much better, but we're tinkering. We're playing. We're not doing what we need to do. And I'm sorry. It's just that's the way I look at it. So it's something to kind of really pay attention to. And I don't even think they're not even giving Shavers a shot. I agree. And here's another thing. I'm going to come to the defense of Ray Davis. I got to come to the defense of Ray Davis because I know a lot of people, and I've been on Ray Davis because I'm like, I didn't think he had a great offseason personally. And the opportunities that he's been given, they've been buns. They just throw him a carry here and there just to kind of get him a touch. No, they get this guy warmed up, because there's gonna come a time where you're gonna have to use him. You're gonna have to need him. And right now they're not giving him the right touches. Now he's also not taking full advantage. His feet are too choppy. He's got happy feet. Man. Be decisive. You're not running like you used to run when you were a rookie, man. I need you to get back to that. You know what I mean? One cut, go. One cut and find your lanes and go, man. That's what I'm waiting for, but we haven't seen it yet. So I'm coming to his defense. I'm coming to his defense. My man Matt was like, "You would come to his defense. You would. Well, I got to, man, because I've been tracking what they're giving him, and they're just giving him like it's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like a throwaway kind of toss to him. You know what I'm saying? It's, I don't know, it's like 2nd and 7, and on a second down with 9 minutes left to go. I don't know. I'm just making something up. Just give him a ball here and let go. Nah, man. it's just he has been a letdown, and I need him to kind of get it back together, man. Get it back together, because there's gonna be a time that James might get nicked up, and what you've shown us so far hasn't been good enough. But you haven't been given the best situation either, and that's where Brady comes in. So here's my final thoughts on the show before I end it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I did not intend to go an hour and 55 minutes. Golly, I certainly did not, but here I am. All right. At the end of the day, the defense is going to do what the defense does, right? They're going to not be as good as we need it to be. Therefore, that means the offense has to be on more times than not. But more specifically, this is a call to Joe Brady, a call to Josh Allen, and a call to the receiver room. The O-line consistently does their job, consistently. On the rare occasion, you know what I'm saying, they might have a shaky outing, shaky series, but for the most part, they keep Josh Allen upright. James Cook, they just had a great game scheme for James Cook, but he will do better, and I know he will. That's 100% fact. What I don't know about is what this receiving room is doing. This receiving room just hasn't reached their potential. And it's going to come a time where Josh Allen's elite ability sometimes might get cloudy a little bit. And if that O-line's a little shaky one day and you guys aren't doing what you need to do, I need it. And what I'm getting to is this. You can't keep doing the whiteboard, get to your route, I'm running a 15-yard post, and not you're just going to run it. You've got to learn to beat your guy. Where's the individual? The individual has to do sometimes a little bit more. If you have to sell that route a little more, sell that route a little more to give Josh the time to get you that ball. But one of you guys in that receiver room has to be the guy that says, let me be your alpha receiver. None of them have done it. I'm waiting for Khalil Shakir to do it, but I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's content with the $35 million that he got, or whatever the heck that he got paid, and he's content to just do what he's doing. What is it, $50 million? What did he get paid? I think he's just content that got paid and just continue to get 6 receptions. It's not acceptable for 5 reception games, 4 reception games for 40 yards. Not acceptable. It's absolutely not acceptable. Keon Coleman figured the freaking back shoulder throw and catch between you guys. You're 6'4". Hey, used to play basketball at Michigan State. I don't care. Translate that to the football field and do it. And I love seeing that one time you guys did it. But that's where you and Josh got to be on the same page. Josh keeps giving him these balls that are like here. Get it up to him here. Let him go up and get it. Go up and get it. So that tandem has to work out. So I'm looking at this where I'm like, bro, this offense, I know we've been putting 30 points up on the board and it's la-di-da and it's great. But then there's going to be games where we only put 20. Right? So now it's going to come down to a series or 2. So if we're not turning the ball over, we're usually in great position. But sometimes the ball is going to be turned over. But why is it turned over? Josh is trying to force it into double coverage. That means you got to be better on beating your guy. Josh has got to be better on making a better read. But he's trying to find someone that's going to step up and be the guy. So who is it? And what's your name? Is it Josh Palmer? Fam, you just got here, but you know what I mean? You see what's going on. Don't just stay in the role. You can't tell me you don't know the offense by now. You had all offseason. Come on, fam. Like, let's get to it. This offense has the potential to be really damn good if these guys would step their game up individually. Josh, figure it out. Brady, scheme. You're a feature guy. Feature someone. If Kincaid is killing it, don't pull away from Kincaid. Keep going to Kincaid. Keep going. If he has 12 receptions because these boys are not competent enough to stop it, keep going. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go somewhere else. Why? That's what I'm talking about. And if Kincaid happens to be the guy that we feature, so be it. At least one of these guys are stepping up and saying, I'm the guy. But right now, I just got a whole bunch of beta dudes up in there, man. I hate to say it. That's what it looks like. So which one? Where's the alpha going? Is the alpha going to be there somewhere? One of y'all going to step up? I'm waiting for it. So Atlanta, you guys have an opportunity. Atlanta is a game where we need to set the tone, and we're about to see what kind of character this team has. For real. We started the game all cute. Season 4, we were 4-0. We feeling nice. We're about to go 5-0, and then boom, we got punched in the mouth. All right, bet. We got punched in the mouth by a guy in the division. So what you going to do against Atlanta? Because Atlanta is watching everything that's taking place. And their defense is not that bad. Their defense is not that bad. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway. These beta fools, man. I'll tell you. All right, let me get right to it, folks. You guys already know what time it is. It's that time of the night where we talk about the sleeper picks. You know what I'm saying? So if you guys are sleeping under a rock and you guys have not seen me mention sleeper, where are you guys at? So I got something to say. I got some news for you guys. Guess what? Look at this. Sleeper right now, if you sign up and you go into your sleeper, you get a free entry and a $20 entry. It's that simple. A free $20 entry where you can get that and now go ahead and make your picks. It's right here. What are you waiting for? It's right in front of your face. Why wouldn't you take full advantage of this? Go ahead and try that right now using the code BF25 as your entry. Go ahead and do that for me and get that thing cracking, because if you don't, I don't know what you're waiting for, people. I don't know what you're waiting for. So now, that being said, we got some picks to make, right? So let me jump into my sleeper picks as we get closer. But I mean, listen, don't take full advantage of this, guys. $20 free entry, and you don't need any special codes. You don't need anything. It's free. Get in there. Do it now. What you waiting for? Get off your couch. Don't be so lazy. You know that commercial, right? That's what I'm trying to tell you guys right now. All right. So that being said, let me share my screen real quick and get this thing cracking again. Hold on. I got the wrong page that I want to remove. I got to stop sharing that and share the right one. You got the right one, baby. You guys remember that commercial? All right. Here we go. I just aged myself with that commercial. My gosh, I don't even know how that came to me, but it did. But it did. All right, here we go. Let me screen there. Let me share my screen. Oh, wrong side. Wrong side, Reek. What you doing, bro? There we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get right to it and see what we got. We got the Thursday night game that's going to be coming up. We got Philadelphia going to be facing Jackson Dart and them boys. It really sucks that Malik Neighbors is hurt. That really takes away the bite that the Giants were looking to have. But you got Cam Scatterboo, you got all them boys going to try to be doing something, right? So if your fantasy team is looking good, this is what it should be looking like. So here's how I see things, how they're going to shake out. Let me slide that all over. If you guys can see my page real quick. Yeah, can you guys see that? Wonderful. All right, here we go. So here's what I got for y'all. I got Saquon Barkley. They got an anytime touchdown for Saquon. Now, the reason they have it at 0.5, so one touchdown, the Giants defense is pretty good. You can't even hate on it. They're a pretty good defense. So I see that being a tough one, especially because right now the Philadelphia Eagles, they don't know what they're doing. Are they a passing team? Are you a running team? Like, I don't know. I zoomed in too much. I don't know what it is exactly that these guys are doing. I'm sure they're gonna figure themselves out at one point. But here's where we are. So I got him. Actually, I think he's gonna do well. I think they're gonna get their act together. I think he gives me one touchdown. I got the free pick for my man Jalen Hurts for the passing yards. That's a free pick. I'll take that. You know what it is. And then here's the tough one. Jackson Dart. The reason I'm saying he's gonna have a rough day because that Philadelphia Eagle is pissed off. That Philly defense is pissed. So I see Jackson Dart having a big time struggle. I think there's going to be just him not seeing what he needs to see, and I think he has less than 175. I think he's gonna have a rough day. It's gonna be his welcome to the league rookie moment. So here we recap it. Anytime touchdown by Saquon. I got my man Jalen with a free pick. You know, I'm always going to take that free. I love me free. Free does everything for me. So Jalen Hurts with the free yards. And then last but not least, Jackson Dart. Less than 175. All right. So I got those three picks. So I'll take your pick, man. Put a little $10 on that thing. Call it a day. If you feel froggy, go ahead and put a little more on that. So we'll go from there. So that being said, those are my picks for this Thursday night game. So if you guys haven't made your picks, go ahead and make your picks. It's really simple, folks. Go ahead and jump all over it. This is where you got to be. So use that promo code, like I told you, BF25 on the Sleeper app and get 100% match up to $100. All right. So sleeper.com using the promo code BF25. Terms and conditions apply. So hashtag that Sleeper, and you guys know what time it is. So that being said, I can't believe I just went 2 hours of chopping it up with you guys. But you know what? It's because it's all love. You guys have been great. It's fantastic. Now, before you get out of this chat, do me a favor. smash that like. Hit that like for your boy. Hit that like right this second. Let's get this algorithm up. Let's get this up to what? 250 likes? I think 250 likes is doable, right? Quarter of 1,000. I mean, we could do that. 250 likes, and let's get it popping. And we got it. And by the way, thank you, Buff Daddy, for knowing the right charge. You got the right one, baby. Yo, I love when I age myself because it's like it kind of feels good though. It kind of feels good to, like, you know what I mean, say some things and then people are like, oh shoot, yeah, I remember that, and you get to reminiscing on the old school stuff. Yeah, that's what it was about, man. So before I get out of here, I can't do that. I got to take some comments, questions from the chat, because it's not just about super chats. It's about, you know what I mean, getting in with y'all and hanging out. So we're 2 hours in. Shoot, we here now, baby. We here. I ain't gonna get off this chat just yet. Let me see what we got. We got my man Buff Daddy says, if he didn't get a tutty, Keon would have been on the milk carton. Well, I mean, my man put him on the milk carton, so I ain't gonna say nothing. He said, yo, Keon needs to be on there. I need him. He's my second round draft pick. I'm not getting enough from him. And he's right. He's absolutely right. And here I am saying, hey, Khalil Shakir could easily be on that list as well. You know what I'm saying? Because although he's giving us a decent year, he had almost 1,000 yards receiving last year. It was a quiet 1,000 yards, but like, this is where you want him to ante up, get even more, actually break 1,000 yards, get me double-digit touchdowns, right? Those are the things I'm looking for. One of them has to step up, be Josh's guy. You know what I'm saying? I go back to this every time. If you're an Office watcher like myself, you see that picture right here? I'm a big-time Office guy. And when Charles took over as, you know what I'm saying, as the guy, and that was Idris Elba, if you remember, and they were looking for his right-hand man, and he kept on taking Dwight. And then David from corporate came in and was like, all right, Jim. He goes, actually, Dwight's my guy. Well, hold on. Who's Josh's guy? I need Josh to be able to point out, that's my guy. Is it Kincaid? If he's your guy, then make him your guy. Is it Khalil? Then make him your guy. I just will not fall for the everybody eats. I'm done with it. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to eat, but somebody has to get the greater share. Who's it going to be? Well, it might be him that guy. It might be him this day. It might be him that day. No, I need a guy that you can count on, that you can go to, because last year when we got to the AFC Championship and we're you know what time it was? One more win away from handling business. And guess what? We lose to the Kansas City Chiefs because when we had the ball in our hands, we didn't make enough plays because we didn't have the guy. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know who Trevor Lawrence went to when he needed a big play yesterday to really get the chains moving? Brian Thomas Jr. That's who he went to, because that's his guy. So who's going to step up as Josh's guy? And who's Josh going to pull from the collar and say, I need you? Haven't had that yet. You know, that soft-spoken Josh Allen with the thumbs up. Bro, that thumbs up needs to open up and grab somebody and say, all right, we need to talk. Haven't seen that yet. Will we see it? We'll find out. We shall soon find out. All right, let me get a couple. My man said, yo, can Coach be on the carton? I mean, he pulls another stunt next week. You might see Coach on there. I'm going to see it right now. My man SA74 says, yo, I'm in my Benford jersey right now, but I miss him too. I miss Benford, man. That's my guy. That's my favorite player on the team, man. I love his attitude. I love everything about him, but he ain't playing like the guy that I know he can be. It sucks, bro. It sucks, but we'll see what it is. All right, let me see what we got here. Just reading through the comments here. I say, yo, we don't get talent, we just get JA. That's good enough. This is for this. We talent in here. No, I can't even read that, brother. I'm sorry. I tried. I couldn't even read that. My man Walter comes, oh, Shavers hasn't done a thing. I would take Davis in a heartbeat over him. Davis is good in the red zone and on scramble drills, if nothing else. That's the experience that he has with Josh Allen. I'm not mad at that. The only thing I'd be mad at is I just don't feel that Shavers got a fair shake. And I get it, you're receiver 5, so you know what I mean, what you gonna do? But he's had one catch. I think it was a really nice catch that got a first down. But I mean, some of the other attempts that have been to him that have been just okay. I mean, he's good enough. He's got the intangibles, he's got the height, he's got the decent speed in this game. Somebody needs to step up, man. But it has to come from Brady scheming these things up, finding the mismatch on who can take over, and then go from there. And then this is where the alpha instincts take over. And then you go from there. So now next week, who's it going to be? Is it going to be Curtis Samuel or is it going to be Elijah Moore? Are you going to have both of them on and then you're going to sit Shavers? I don't know. They're moving things all over the place trying to figure things out. You didn't have all offseason do that? Didn't you have all offseason to figure out who's who? You're still tinkering around? Anyway, that's got me kind of, you know, me in my feelings a little bit. My girl Laura, my lady Laura. What's up, Laura? Laura says Rico saves lives. I love it. Rico's show saves lives. I mean, listen, if I'm saving a life here and there, why not? I mean, I'll take it. My bro always checks on me after the Bills losses. Hilarious. I'm not taking it fully there. Yo, you're my girl, Laura. You're my girl. You're my girl. You know that. My man Jeff says, yo, Rico, stop worrying about the time you got hot. Fire show, bro. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate it. Signified Note says, yo, but Rico, think of how nice it would be if the defense for one time in their lives balled out. There's going to be a day where the defense is rocking it, where they're just turning the ball over. They're giving the ball back to Josh, and Josh is doing what they do. And then when Josh gets the team up to 14, 21, nothing, then we just pin our ears back and go after it. What I'm looking forward to, I'm not saying it's going to make a big difference, but it's going to make a slight difference where we have Ed Oliver back. And it seems like he's going to be back this week because he posted something on IG that says, yo, get my mother effing belt. We going. So he's ready to take that belt to A come Sunday up against on Monday night. I think we're playing Monday night against the Atlanta Falcons. So we'll find out. We're going to find out, man. That's the way I like to see it. My man Walter says, yo, most of these receivers are vets. They are who they are at this point. Expecting them to become something new is fool's gold. But is it? I feel like when you get a new contract, I think there is no you are who you are. No. I gave you a contract because I expect more from you. I'm paying you because I expect more. If my job came to me today and says, yo, we're giving you a raise because of the work that you've done for us, and I think that you're going to be doing great things, and we expect a lot from you going forward, bro, you can't stay stagnant. You gotta give them more. And that's exactly what I think the Bills, should have demanded from Khalil Shakir. And I need more of that. You got to get to it. Now, granted, he was hurt all offseason, so maybe he's just rounding into shape. But you've been in this offense long enough, bro. So I ain't trying to hear it. So, but I understand the concept as well of being, you know what I'm saying, being a veteran and getting it and all that stuff. I totally get that part. So I'm with you. Walter comes back and says, yo, we weren't even complaining about Josh Reeds prior to this game. At this point, Josh is what he is. It's time for everyone else to take a step or get paid. This is what I was trying to get to, right? Josh is who he is. We know who Josh is. So now it's time for them to step up. But the why I call Josh out, and I don't even want to call Josh out. It's not even like that. But why I mentioned Josh is for Josh to now ask one of these guys to step up, or, you know what I mean? Like, demand more from one of these guys. You know what I mean? It can't just be, love each other and do a great job. Go Bills. No, man. I'm demanding one of you guys to step up, or I'm demanding all of you to step up. Let's go, man. So this hope of this loss was a wake-up call to, and not just because they lost, but like, yo, Kincaid was my best guy. So am I just gonna go to Kincaid? No, man. Y'all need to step up, baby. Y'all need to step up for me. And it just hasn't been good enough. It just hasn't been good enough, man. All right, let me just read a couple more, and I'm gonna get out of here. My man Anthony Fernandez. What up, Anthony? He goes, yo, Rico, are we bored or didn't have respect for the Pats? Underestimated them, especially on the second year, and with Viable and Vrabel this year. It's crazy work. We beat ourselves. We certainly beat ourselves because we lost by 3 and we turned the ball over 3 times. Josh throwing interception in the red zone. Keon Coleman fumbling it in our green zone or our own red zone. Bro, you can't have those. The 2 crucial bad turnovers in bad areas of the field. Our average start with the our average field of play to start was on the 20-yard line, 23-yard line. The average field to start for the Pats was 34. They were starting on the 34-yard line every time. So they were getting great. They were getting absolutely fantastic field position. Here's the thing. We had an opportunity, folks. We had an opportunity. These boys kicked the ball out of, was it the Chiefs? Was I watching the wrong game? No, that was the Chiefs game. How does Butker kick the ball out of bounds? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right. Let me get some out. I said, yo, Puerto Rico can't predict which of my comments are insane. Yo, Lord, you fool. You fool. All right, folks, this is it. That's my time. You guys are great. You guys are fantastic. There were 1,400 of y'all watching tonight. We got over 1,200 people on X. We got another just shy of 150 people on YouTube. Much love. Appreciate y'all. Before you get out of here, smash that like. You guys know what time it is. So that being said, folks, I appreciate you guys. And you guys have a fantastic evening. We will be back again tomorrow to talk injuries. And my guy, Alex the Thigh Doc, he's going to be coming out and he's going to be hanging out with us. And we're going to figure it all out tomorrow to figure out what exactly we need. Who needs to step up? Where's Ed Oliver? Will we see Ed Oliver? Will this happen? We're about to find out what takes place. Long, but you know what? I had things to get off my chest, so it's over with and done with. So, folks, handle your business, do what needs to be done. Hit that QR code right in this corner, and that way you get all the merch, if you want to join us on YouTube, all that is going to be right there, ready to roll. So, folks, enjoy the rest of your evening. It's your boy Rico, and we'll catch you guys on the flip.